password.
Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up on the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's dude.
Hey everybody, it's T.S. Dixon, author of The Woke Mind Viruses. And I want to tell you that I'm pleased to be part of The Dumb Show, the Don't Unfriend Me show that you can find every weeknight at 7 p.m. on social media at The Dumb Show or on their website, thedumbshow.com. See you there.
Come on, man. Can you feel the pain? Into him now, about the new world. Ain't no track. Papa's got a brand new eye.
It's Red Friday, RED Friday, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. A movement designed to honor veterans and deployed U.S. troops by wearing a red shirt every Friday. As simple as that may be, Red Friday is a great way to back those who serve our country. Go to dumbshow.com and search for Red Friday to get your red on.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Catherine O'Hara has passed away, and that sucks, you know?
It is.
You start to get older and, you know, your heroes or people who you listen to or authors or, you know, even our loved ones and parents and stuff. It's not good. Everyone loved her, even though she was goofy and abandoned her child. Not once, but twice. I mean, seriously.
The sad thing is that she's only a year older than my mom, which makes it mortality.
Well, listen, that's the thing. You can't go by years. You know, you look at now my lineage and the lines of my family. Everyone seems to go around the same time. Around 86 years old seems to be the sweet spot for the Spears. That's about right. And you know, but we don't know. Healthcare is better than it's ever been. Testing is better than it's ever been. It's cancer is curable in this sense, and like it never has been before. there's a lot of things, and but it sucks. You
Yeah.
don't want to lose anybody.
Talking to Ethan upstairs and told him how old she was and that she's only a year older than my mom, and he just kind of looked at me and I was like, "Don't worry, dude." I was like,
How old was she?
She was 71.
Yeah, but see, there's so many mitigating circumstances.
There are. I mean, my great grandmother lived till she was over 100. Both my grandparents were in their mid to late 80s.
Right.
My grandpa, my dad's dad was 82, I think.
Right.
But my grandma, my dad's mom, she died of breast cancer when she was 58. So that's different circumstances. But her sister lived and she was like 103.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's 71. But listen, I'm looking at if I live 20 more years, is that good? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, 30 sounds good for me. Like if I live to 82, I think I'm going to be okay. But I've seen a lot of things. I've done a lot of things, but I want to be with you as long as I go first, I'll be all right. Like I can't stand the fact of being without you. I couldn't imagine that.
That's why we're going to notebook it.
Well, right. It depends if we're in an area that I can get a prostitute or not. And then if I can, I'll struggle, but I'll find a way to get through. 86 is a good number. 87, 90. I just think it's too much. I'll be gumming my food.
Well,
and
I mean,
watching
it really
Wheel
depends.
of Fortune.
I mean, it could be like your yaya. I mean, if I heard she was a Spitfire till she was like 105 or something like
103.
that. 103.
Yeah.
I mean, my aunt
and I got a lot of that blood.
Yeah, my great aunt Mary was my grandma's one. She lived till she was over 100 as well, and she lived on her own until she was 99 because her husband passed away a few years earlier. Until she tripped on Christmas Day and broke a hip. That's the only reason she had to be put in a home, because she broke her hip at 99. She lived like 3 or 4 years.
Did she trip on Kevin's micro machines?
She tripped on the welcome mat. She was walking out of the house from Christmas to go home, and she tripped at the door.
Would that be the leaving mat at that point?
Yeah, I guess at that point. But the door jam or whatever it is. But yeah, she was lucid and a Spitfire until the day she died. So
yeah, I think 100's too much. Like 90s, like 87 to 80, 87, 90. Listen, whatever. We don't have any control anyway. What can you do? You just do it. It's not a race, but big guys don't last long. My uncle didn't last long. My grandpa didn't last long. And I've got the size thing going on. So, you gotta be careful. 6'4". How many 6'4" 90-year-olds do you know? Not many.
Well, it's because we freaking shrink. I've already shrunk an inch.
Yeah, but 6'4". I mean, come on. Big dudes are hard to find. I'm growing. I've put on an inch in the last, 7 years, which is crazy. That's
insane that you can. Is it because of your spine?
The surgery.
I know
the
they
strengthening
compressed.
Compressed, and the strengthening of the spine and healing and getting the fusion has. I'm back to 6'4", but I was down to 6'2", and then I had my surgery, and I was like 6'2.5", and I've gained an inch and a half with muscle mass, and
I'm just very curious how I lost an inch in a year. Because last time I went, I was still.
You've always been short. You've always been an itty bitty thing.
But I was 5'4". Now I'm 5'3", which is really sad.
You look good. You look good.
Thanks.
Did you show everyone your new sweater there, Sweet Pea? Oh, the Quality Leering Center. God, that looks good. Look at that thing. 1-800-Pirates. I love it. All right, folks. Let's get started early. We got a busy Friday night. We know it's going to be busy.
Yanni's like, no. You need to look at me.
Pay attention.
Not the
Pay
hoodie.
attention. 101 on for the 101st Airborne. Hoorah. Let's get going. We got a busy show tonight, folks. If you want to call into the show, you may. We allow you to. If you want to call and say hi, just say, hey, what's going on? And we will answer you. Also, if you text us, I can read your text, but I will not answer them because for some reason we have to have this SMS propagation and this. I'm going through it right now. I'm trying to get it added. But we have done some things to the shop and the store. If you go on over, emails are back on. So I got those back turned because the store's been just hopping, like busy. So if you haven't had a chance to go over to thedumbshow.com, you can pick up coffee, you can pick up hats, you can pick up cups, you can pick up, I mean, it's all sorts of great stuff. I mean, pretty much everything you see us wearing in the show is on the site. And people will tell you it's all 5-star rated. We have one of the highest rated retail stores in a podcasting demographic. We have 5 stars. We have a platinum award and a diamond award for our customer service because we take care of everybody and we give good quality product. All right, so that's it. Let's get to it. If you want to donate to the show, go to thedumbshow.com. $300 is on the board. We do it every night. And the Don't Unfriend Me Show cast and crew, which are the people who are listening, chat is what they're called by the generation that we gave birth to. And you're the chat. So if the chat wants to help out, which we hope you do, you can do that. Interesting day today, besides the death of Catherine O'Hara. The Nazi calling seems to be ramping up yet again. Ooh. And we're all being called Nazis again. Someone had a question about our coffee. Is it veteran owned? Yes. So everything that I sell is owned by me. So it's veteran owned. The person who makes it used to be an Army friend of mine who was in Wisconsin. He sold his business to an Army friend of his who runs a, what do you call it? Gourmet pizzeria, wood-fired, all Adobe, whatever, type stoves or terracotta, or whatever. I don't know what the hell it is. Something Italian. And he has a winery, and now he's into roasting coffee. And so far, after all the bags we've sold, which we've sold a shit ton lately, this week has been incredible. Everybody says it's delicious, and it's better than it was. So you can go buy that in 2-pound, 5-pound, and 12 ounces over at the site. It's a good price. You're not going to find, listen, it's gourmet taste with grocery store prices. That's the best way I can describe it to you. $15.99 for 12 ounces, and it will beat anything in the grocery store. All right, let's rock and roll. Okay, so calling everyone Nazis. First video tonight. We're going to watch this. Olivia and I are excited. Top 10 answers on the board. Let's go. Put your tray tables up and your seats in the upright position, please.
100 people surveyed.
Put your head between your legs. No, your own legs, Father.
Oh my goodness.
Name the movie. All right, here we go.
Airplane.
Let me show you, but
you want to harass people, huh? No. How does it feel to be fucking harassed?
Now, I must warn you, we're starting off with language extraordinaire. Oh boy. It's pretty bad. So just hang in there, and it's annoying, and trust me, like this just makes me believe that running people over should be a legal sport in America. By the way, you'll see new graphics on our left side. I put all the commercials and videos, so now when I make the cells, I just drop the video in. It's a lot easier, and you notice the red and the blue on the side, which matches the site. So we've made some improvements, so deal with it.
So he did not deny he does work for, he did not deny it.
we're from TSA.
He did not, look,
Fucking matter. How does it fucking feel?
he did not deny it. He did not deny it.
How does it fucking feel to be harassed?
Look,
How does it fucking feel?
that's you.
How does it
Look,
feel? How does it
look, he said it. He said it was him. He said it was him.
How does it feel to be
He
harassed?
said it. He confirmed it is you. He confirmed. He confirmed. Look. They confirmed it. He confirmed. He did confirm. He works for Homeland Security.
So the guy's TSA. Now, I'm all about yelling at TSA as often as we can in the airports, but I don't know if this guy deserves as much hate and ire as he is getting.
I mean, he has nothing to do with immigration. What's wrong with people? They're so stupid.
You work for Department of Homeland. Well, yeah, but so do a lot of agencies. You know what I mean? But they're angry. Those fucking whistles.
Lo confirmó.
Since we know what's happening, Anthony, we give 10% of our proceeds each year, the entire net worth of Don't Unfriend Me, to the Travis Manion Foundation. after every single show. For the first 5 years of the show, we talked about the Veteran Crisis Hotline before Veteran Crisis actually started throwing copyright strikes on us for using their commercials. So it's placed at the end of the ad. It's also on the top of our website. So we already do all the work with 22 a day. That's why it's Red Friday, man. And yeah, welcome to the show.
You in the car.
Yeah, we saw you. We saw you messed up. You came out with another guy, and I can show you the whole video.
This right here doesn't do shit for you guys. We know it's you.
You're on the video. I saw you yesterday. You're gonna tell me it's not me?
Must be an Asian guy, but
You don't remember me yesterday?
All right.
What I don't understand is how come they are humoring them?
I don't understand why anyone is.
That's what I'm saying. Why?
Let's get in their face. You know how loud I can whistle.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm like, you want to play whistle? Okay. Ventura County Fair, 167 decibels. I'm
Yeah, it's
13
freaking
shy.
deafening.
I am 13 shy of a shotgun.
Yeah, it's freaking deafening.
I won the Ventura County Fair loudest whistle contest. Ventura's not small. And I've gotten better since then. I can whistle like nobody's business. You want to play whistle while we work? Oh, I don't know why they're human.
But it's
I'm
just
like,
walk
business,
away.
shut.
Just walk away, people. Walk away.
Because they're going to continue to do it. Then they're going to like trash your car and like what are you trying to prove? What difference are you making?
You're not.
All you're doing is pissing people off. So the next time somebody gets shot, they're going to be like, well, bummer. Because I think that's where I'm at. I've seen so many of these assholes that when Alex Preddy got shot, okay, bummer. When Renee Good got shot, bummer. I'm sorry.
Should have been there.
At this point, I'm just like, maybe it's good.
One less leftist.
Maybe it's pretty good that this is happening. I don't know. Because like, everyone's like, Matt's going dark. Matt's black pilled. No, I'm not. I've always believed that stupid people who
deserve stupid prizes.
Deserve stupid prizes. So I don't know, man. I don't really care. There's too many people on this planet who deserve our attention and our care, versus these people who they're just unhappy. Put them out of their misery. Like Alex Preddy went to the ICE officers and said, "Assault me, mother," right to their face. Okay, well, you got assaulted. So is it against the law to assault someone who asks you to assault them? I don't know. Is that a rule? He got what he wanted. He wanted to be assaulted. They assaulted him. I mean, they assaulted him 11 times, I think. And, be careful what you ask for. You just may get it. Am I being insensitive, Olivia? Is that what's happening?
You are not. Anyone who goes to those riots cannot feign innocence. Anyone with 2 eyes and 2 ears and access to the internet, which is pretty much everyone on the planet, can see what's going on. Yeah. And if you willingly go down to Minneapolis or any of the places that they're having these protests and you're participating in it, you get what you deserve. And I have absolutely no sympathy for you.
Right. And then they're like, oh, well, this is why we didn't care about Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk isn't doing any of that. If you wanted to engage with Charlie Kirk, you had to show up and actually get to the mic and have a conversation. If you want to consume his content, you actually have to not turn it off. It's right there. It's the same thing with this show. But when you are literally being harassed every time you walk down the street, just simply because you work for Department of Homeland Security or because you work for the government, these people are useless. They're just completely a waste of oxygen, and it really frustrates me. I was watching an old Donahue episode. You guys remember Donahue, silver-haired guy? He was before Oprah, but then during Oprah at the same time, and definitely before Maury. Okay, well, Donahue was this white-haired. He looked like a Letterman with white hair, and had you know, a nice disposition, good voice, but total lib-lab. But anyway, Sylvester Stallone's on there. And whether you guys know this, Sylvester Stallone's kid was in one of the Rocky movies. I think it was Rocky 5 or whatever. I don't know. Rocky 27, the musical. And his other son, he has another son, and most people don't know this.
He's got girls too.
Yeah, but the son is autistic. And he is shadow autistic in the sense of corner autistic. He has no emotions that are the feelings of love. He's completely disconnected. He repels and repudiates every type of physical contact or any type of auditory response he's just essentially he's a walking body with absolutely no reciprocal feelings that are human-like at all. And Sylvester Stallone was up there and he's just talking about this and how hard it was for his son and how hard it was. And when the doctor said it, he wanted to lash out and just like grab the doctor by the throat, you know, because he didn't believe him. He's like, dude, not my son. What do you mean he's going to be autistic? What do you mean he's going to literally not be able to bathe himself and use the restroom? And what are you talking about? An invalid? What? And so it's a huge transition for him. And then, so I'm listening to this and I'm like, God, you know, and this was during his Tango and Cash days, or, you know, where he's wearing his glasses and he's all GQ. It's when Sylvester Stallone started polishing up and became a little bit of a sex symbol. And he's answering this stuff to Donahue. Donahue's asking all these questions. And he seems just cold, you know, just really cold about it. And, you know, Phil alludes to that fact and kind of just says, you know, you seem kind of, you know, dead about this. And he's like, no, not at all. It's what it is that every day, he's like, does it make you mad? He's like, no, it used to. It doesn't make me mad now. What makes me mad is people who have the ability to feel the light on their face, or have the ability to walk across the room, or have the ability to have a conversation, who have the talent to do anything they want. And then I see them waste it. And my son has none of that. And that makes me mad. And I was like, whoa.
That's
deep. pretty deep. And so when I look at these protesters, I'm like, dude, there's people who can't function, who can't walk. There's veterans who've lost their legs. There's people who don't have the ability to communicate or have severe cerebral palsy or whatever it would be. And you people have your ambulatory functions. You have your cognitive recognition. You have your problem solving skills. You have appendages that work and operate. You have all the things that, you know, in a working brain, kinda, and you waste it. You waste it on stupid shit. And we saw that in New York today, right? We saw Hamas supporters, we saw anti-ICE, we saw abortion, feminist, anti-Trump, and then one other. I can't remember the other group. BLM.
Oh.
And the entire protest was just this mishmash of people who don't even know what they're protesting. They're just all out there. They're just like, it's like spin the wheel of fortuitousness and identify what you're going to be triggered by today. And I don't know, what do they want? What has anyone figured out what Occupy Wall Street wanted, what BLM wanted, what these yahoos, what do they want? You want ICE completely abolished. So you want unfettered, illegal criminals coming into our country unchecked. That's what you want. Well, hold on. No, it's not going to happen. And this is the reality. This isn't how you change things. Tom Homan said it best. If you want to change it, then do it with legislation. Do it when we get to, you know, Congress, or run for local city council or something. But you know, you throwing dog shit at ICE officers and blowing up your own hand because you're an idiot who grabs a flashbang and then you lose your fingers and you're shocked. I don't know anymore.
I just hope to God none of them have procreated, because we don't need that type of stupidity being passed on to younger generations.
But my point is that if we eliminate a couple and that happens, like, I'm not going to celebrate it. I don't want anyone to be taken out.
I'm just not going to be sad if they
I'm not going to pretend, oh, it's a tragedy. No, it's not a tragedy. The tragedy is allowing these people to procreate. That's the tragedy. Anyway, that's it. Let's go. Next one. You linked this one. This is The View. This is Sunny Hostin. What did she do now?
This must have been a couple days ago.
Oh my God.
Because I took all of the bookmarks that
okay, we don't need to explain this.
I'm sorry.
Here's Sunny Hostin.
An unpopular opinion, but I think that if you do
Is there anything she said that has ever been popular?
No.
Good.
not speak out when these atrocities are happening, you are almost complicit. I think you have a requirement as a human being, as an American, to speak out. And especially if you have millions and millions of followers, a huge platform, I think it is a privilege to have that kind of platform, but it is a responsibility to speak out.
And I will say, I know you do, but I'm going to contradict you.
Of course, Whoopi, is Anthony North. You've had quite a bit to say. You say we need to fix the problem with legislation. This is how that happens. We need more immigration courts and appointment more judges to them. Not anymore, we don't. That was a Biden problem. That's not a Trump problem. We don't have people coming into the country anymore. He shut that down. The judges are no longer overwhelmed. We have deported the people that were here over their stays. The gotaways are what we're trying to capture now when it comes to the criminals. But there is no overwhelming border issue anymore when it comes to judges. You need to change the legislation. If people are, I didn't say anything other than the people who are protesting, the only way to change what you want changed is to do it legislatively, which means you would have to abolish ICE or essentially do what they're trying to attach to the government funding with budget and attach it to regulation with ICE. Now they're trying to attach cameras to ICE officers. Good. They should have body cameras on. Great. It's the worst possible thing for these morons to have ICE officers recording them because it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. The narrative dies. They want them to go through training on de-escalation techniques and some other things that are more standard for police. Okay, good. I agree. But they want them to demask. And the answer to that is no. Hell no. Not a chance. Not a chance. If you remove ICE's responsibility for what they do with the Cali cartels, what they do with the MS-13 and Tren de Aragua, okay. You want to play that game, that's fine. Then you remove their responsibility against these cartels. Otherwise, the answer is not only no, but hell no.
Then how about you protesters remove your masks too?
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Let's put all your information on the internet, see how you guys feel. Here's the rest.
Yeah, no, I know not everybody is built for this.
Yeah.
Because speaking out is not for everyone.
Yeah.
Joseph Hillstrom, happy birthday, buddy.
Happy
And
birthday,
we
dude.
don't live in a society where people will let you say what you have to say and just say, oh, well, that's how they feel. No, they come for your family. They come for your friends. And everybody does not have the stomach for this. So if you have the stomach for it, if you can do it, please do. If you can't do it, find a different way to connect.
Agreed.
That's better, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an unpopular opinion, but I do feel that way.
I agree with you. Yeah, but I don't think the people waiting on the other side are always good people. They're looking to hate people. They're looking for you to speak up, and they want to disagree, and they want to tear you down. And I don't think that's okay either.
It's biblical. I mean, if you think about it, Jesus said Jesus waded into the water. It was muddy water. He didn't have to wade into the water.
Yes, but not everybody believes in Jesus. So you have to come from a different place.
That's okay, Whoopi. He believes in you.
What does that have to do with
It has nothing to do with it. It's like watching monkeys F a football. I mean, everybody wants to turn. And you know what? You know one thing I've never heard on The View? I don't have an opinion on that. I've never heard those words in my life. There's plenty of times in the show where you're like, man, I don't know. I don't have an opinion. Or Leroy's like, I'm really not, I don't have it. I pretty much have an opinion because I got to run the show. But there's times where I'm just kind of like, I don't even care. I think we've established The View is retarded, and there's really nothing that we can do to help it. It hasn't been a product worth watching in about 15 years, and there was a time that it was fairly decent. But those ships have sailed.
You should change the name of the show to Viewtards.
Viewtards. We should make that T-shirt. That would be nice. The Viewtards. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that England sucks. It sucks. It sucks. People think they're clever.
They do.
They do, especially the chat and some of the people in it. It's a long story. I'll tell you in a second. England sucks. Watch this, folks. This is where the United States, this is where Canada and England are right now. And the United States, they're going to compare what happened to Don Lemon to what's going on in England. You don't seem to understand.
Oh my goodness. It's a novel. Dude, if you're going to write a novel, just call in.
Dude, seriously, call in or shut up. Please. Like, seriously, dude, just call in or shut up. Like, enough, man. How about you you know what? How about you run the show, bro? How about you tell us all your thoughts on the world, and we'll just listen to you talk. Since all you're doing is typing. You just put out a 4-paragraph answer. Now you got another one. Did you talk this much in the core? What'd you do in the core? I'm interested. Now I'm interested. What'd you do in the core, big guy? What'd you do with core? Because it's funny, you have such a sneaking disposition and opinion of another person we have here. You just sound just like him. It's almost funny. You know, in your name, you know, why didn't you just choose Ollie North versus Anthony North, you know? It's almost like you're not who you say you are. It's almost like you're another person who threatened our family and said they were going to come over to Sweet Frog and kill us, right? Is that this guy? I wonder who it could possibly be. Is he going to say anything else? Is he done?
I know. Give it a minute.
Okay, here we go.
He needs to type his what he's thinking into chat GPT.
You're one and done in the Marine Corps. I didn't ask you that. I said, what did you do in the Marine Corps? I didn't ask you how long you were in. What did you do in the Marine Corps? What was your MOS? What was your rate? You were in Japan for 3. Where were you in Japan? Where were you in Japan? Okinawa? Yokosuka? Yokohama? Hokkaido? Where were you? Where were you in Japan? It's pretty simple. Were you attached to Com 7th Fleet? Which one? If you were attached, was it FMF? What did you do in the Marine Corps? 6322. What did you do in the Marine Corps? God, it's been a while since we've had this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where were you in Japan? You were in Miramar, Avionics Electronics. What were you attached to? That's not Japan. Miramar isn't in Japan. Where were you in Japan? Yokohama, Yokosuka, Okinawa, Hokkaido. You carried the rank of corporal. In 5 years, you got to corporal? Lance Corporal? Where were you in Japan? Once again, seems like you want to answer everything other than that, everything else but that. I'm waiting. We're going to take a little time. This is a good Friday. It's a red Friday. I just have questions. I just have some questions.
Kids haven't had school for weeks, so
yeah,
we're cool with being in here for a bit.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Ooh, wireless caller. Ooh, is that Colorado?
No.
Oh, that's 720. Mm-hmm. Hi, wireless caller. Who are you calling? What's your name?
Hey there. This actually is Anthony North. I was calling in to talk with you guys a little bit. I actually do genuinely enjoy what you guys are doing, and I thank you for actually putting content out there for the veterans. So,
where are you from? Where were you? This is Anthony North, right?
Yes, sir.
So Anthony, where were you stationed in Japan?
I was in Okinawa. I was at MCAS Futema for 3 years. Out of the 3 years I was there, I was with HMM 265 for 2.
Okay.
I was attached to the 31st MU for a year with them.
Okay.
And then I hopped off the boat and hopped right back on it with HMM 262.
What vessel were you on?
I was on the USS Essex.
Okay.
Or
yeah, I know what it is.
LA.
You're good.
Yeah, and then
you're good. We're good now.
Yeah.
See,
I was also on the Bonhomme Richard, and I did my last year at Miramar. I worked on the CH-46 before they got rid of it and replaced it with the Osprey.
Outstanding. So, did you ever get to mainland Tokyo, or were you only in Okinawa?
I did visit mainland a couple times. Loved it out there. I went to a couple concerts while I was there on Special Lib.
On what?
Special Liberty. So
I know what Special Liberty is. So did you get to Okinawa and Roppongi by chance, or outside of Okinawa and go to Roppongi, Yokosuka area, Tokyo, anything like that?
I went to the Shibuya district in Tokyo. I did go to the Disneyland out there. I thought that was actually pretty cool. While I was
what was the major difference at Disneyland that you recognized? Like, what was the big thing? Because we went there too. What was the biggest difference between? Well, did you go to Disney World or did you go to Disneyland in the States? Which one?
I went to so I've been to 3 different ones actually. I've been to the one that's out in Anaheim. Yep. I went to the one in Tokyo.
Yep.
And then I also went to the one in Hong Kong while I was on the boat.
Oh, see, Hong Kong was okay. Now hold on a second. Now, see, now we're chewing some of the same water. So were you Com 7th Fleet?
No, I was part of the 8th on the 31st Muse. So I was part of the Air Wing.
I got it. Okay, so that makes sense. So you and I drank some of the same water and chewed some of the same dirt. So Hong Kong, we ported in Hong Kong for the takeover in 95, 96. What years were you in?
I was in from 2009 to 2014. So you actually were in much earlier than me.
Yeah, but you got to see it post. Yeah, you saw it post democracy and saw it after the Chinese takeover, which Hong Kong completely changed. But is there anything better than going into the harbor at night, watching literally those clouds roll over and seeing the lights lighted up? It's one of the most beautiful things in the world, is it not?
Oh, dude, I live in Las Vegas now, and Hong Kong was still more beautiful looking up all the lights over the water than Vegas is to this day, even with the big sphere we have out here.
All right, awesome. So let me explain what happened. So there's a guy who comes on our show a lot. He's kind of a dick, and he has some of the same dispositions that you have in regards to ICE, and it just seemed a little weird. So you made a comment, and you said that immigrants are essential for a good economy, and shutting it down entirely is a bad thing. Walk me through that, because you mentioned the Statue of Liberty, and obviously that you give us your weak and huddled masses. I understand the quote. Why do you think immigration in particular is good for the United States and our economy?
Well, for one, I'm a descendant of Irish immigrants. People came here from Ireland during the Great Potato Famine. And on top of that, the Irish has helped build this country with the Chinese. We helped build the Transcontinental Railroad.
Yep.
You know, and immigration to this country has been incredibly important to that. Now, I'm not saying we should allow illegal immigrants in, but there definitely is a problem with the current system that allows people to become immigrants legally to this country. And we need to start fixing those issues if we actually want to see a change.
How do you imagine fixing them? Is it amount that it's too difficult, or it's that we're not allowing enough in? What are your thoughts?
Oh, well, for one, I mean, we have to look at the numbers. You know, you have over 700,000 people whose work visas are currently on backlog. Like, people who are coming here genuinely trying to work, make money, be good people. Their visas have been approved. They're just waiting to actually have them submitted, and they're on backlog. We have to address that. We need to do a better at streamlining the process.
Right.
On top of that, I personally don't agree with this idea of putting a tariff on people who are just coming here to work here legally. Taxing people's visas just so they can come here to work legally when they already are paying the fee just for the visa just does not make sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a lot there to unpack. So now we're mixing up immigration at the border and the work visa problem, because you and I will agree 120% on work visas that it's a completely screwed up problem. In fact, there's more issues with work visa immigration and people here on overstays than there are illegal immigrants. I mean, it is insane because it impacts not just Mexico and poorer countries, but this is from Europe. This is from the Norwegian states. This is places from Hong Kong to South Korea, South America, Canada. I mean, it's a ridiculous notion.
Well, right. And the thing is, most of the people that come to this country do so legally and then simply stay past the visa.
Right.
If we actually want to fix the immigration issues we have, we need to better monitor those visas.
Right.
And
But it's two different. It's two different situations, though. You're talking about ICE. ICE is not responsible for overstays on visas. That's a completely different department and a completely different situation. I want to get back to your comment that immigration helps the economy of the U.S. And I don't disagree with you that a certain amount of immigrants, especially with us having a lower underpopulated country because of the birth rates being lower and lower, is a good thing. However, that's not what ICE's responsibility is either. ICE doesn't handle legal immigration either. ICE's job is to apprehend and stop people who are in our country illegally and do not have the proper paperwork or are not in the process of obtaining legal status in our country. So when your comment was ICE, I can't remember exactly what you said, but you can tell me exactly. But somehow that ICE is doing it wrong. Can you clarify that for me? Because I'm not sure I understand it.
You know, there's a thing we say in the military all the time. It's not every single person that's a problem. Unfortunately, in the military, we're often punished in masses for the actions of a few. It is my hope that that is not what happens with ICE. The problem isn't the entire agency as a whole. It's a few bad eggs thrown in the mix. These people that are using violence and unfortunately, I hate to say, using their firearms in a situation that can be considered unjust and unfair, it's going to put a bad eye on ICE and create more tension.
Which situation are you referring to? Renee Good, or are you referring to the Preddy situation?
You know, the biggest thing for me with the Alex situation, right? I mean, if you look at the videos, and don't get me wrong, yes, there is a lot with him antagonizing, and I agree with you there. He's wrong place, wrong time, play stupid games to win stupid prizes. But the fact of the matter is, it was 6 agents. The man was on the ground. He had already been pepper sprayed and disarmed, and then they shot him. Mm-hmm. And you've already mentioned the whole de-escalation thing, right? They teach us this in the military. At that point, there was nothing else that needed to be done. He was already on the ground, you know? And I feel like that situation could have been handled differently.
Well, so let's go back. Let's go back to the video a week ago. So this gets to the heart of the matter, right? So it's not that ICE isn't doing a good job. It's not that ICE isn't doing their job. It's not that immigration that's illegal is good for the economy. I think now we've gotten down to the heart of the matter, is that you take umbrage with Alex Preddy getting shot. So let's do this. Let's just start from the top. And remove the worst parts of this equation, which is Alex Preddy dying, and then Alex Preddy doing things now that we're finding out where he was a real son of a bitch. Let's remove both of those things out of the equation, because all they do is just create too much complexity. So let me simplify it. Did he deserve to be arrested?
You know, that is a good question to ask, and I will be honest about that. Considering some of the things that I've seen that have come to light, I mean, he definitely did seem to be antagonizing the police officers and impeding proper arrest.
Okay. Okay. So if they would have had, hold on. So
where legal arrest could have happened.
By the way, this isn't your first time calling into the show.
It's not.
I know. You think I never know that. So why do you keep changing your name? I thought we talked about we weren't going to do this again.
Brother, I'm pretty sure this is my first time calling in.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't.
I swear to God, I'm using the proper name. My name is Anthony.
All right. You sound very familiar. Is all I'm saying. All right. So let's do this anyway. So did he deserve a respectful conversation? Good conversation. So it doesn't really matter if he did or not. You sound really familiar. Let's assume that the arrest was warranted. So they grab him. They tussle. They spray him. He goes after the woman and covers her up, is what was alleged to have happened, but we don't know. But pushes ICE agent and he goes on the ground. If they would have zip tied him right there, got him down, got his arms, had him zip tied, they picked him up and they put him in the back of a vehicle and they took him to jail, would you have any problem with that arrest?
Not at all.
Okay.
No.
So
it's the fact he was killed in cold blood.
Okay. Wait, he wasn't killed in cold blood. That's not true. That's not accurate in the least, because the definition of being killed in cold blood is that you have absolutely no threatening posture at the time that you are killed, without weapon, without resistance, without force. He was absolutely openly resisting. He was threatening. He was fighting. He was not standing still. He was pushing, and he was a threat. That's not cold blood. They used a level of force once an agent saw a firearm, but we're jumping ahead again. It was a good arrest. He needed to be arrested. And if he would have been zip tied and taken into custody, nobody would have a problem. Is that right?
That's where I'm at right now.
Okay,
yeah.
Then anything that happened posthumous from that event is on Alex Preddy. Because without him, that situation doesn't happen. ICE could go about their business and never talk to Alex Preddy, and none of that would have happened. It's not happened in Texas. It's not happening in Louisiana. It's not happening in Nashville. It's not happening in Georgia. It's not happening anywhere. It didn't happen in Vegas either. And the reason why it doesn't is because these antagonizers are creating hostile situations. They are using whistles, which honestly penetrate the human thought. They are loud. They're abrasive. They're designed to do that. They're designed to get people's attention. It shuts off motor skills. It shuts off ambulatory reaction time, auditory learning, environmental situational awareness. You know this. This is why we train in the military with flashbangs, or we train with going into the tear gas chamber, or why we go ahead and put ourselves in situations where we're feeling discomfort in our training so we can understand what it feels like. These situations are creating these environments. Now, did he deserve to be shot? No. But when you have an agent and they're trying to get this guy down, and you see a firearm and you see a holster, you and I both know under those situations, you have a millisecond to respond. And this is why we also train in civilian situations versus bad guy situations when we're making shot selections, when you're going through CQB. Right. Is we go through these millisecond response times in order to recognize a threat. And you put a guy in that situation who's been on his feet all day, who's freezing cold, who probably has pepper spray and tear gas leaking through his goggles. He's fucking snot bubbling. He's not reacting like a civilian, but it's not comfortable either way. You know this. And then he sees that gun and he pulls and fires. That entire situation never would have happened if what you agreed upon needed to take place with him being arrested, if he just would have fucking complied. It starts and ends with Preddy's decision to resist and fight that led to his death. And that's just the cold, hard truth of it. It doesn't mean that ICE officer doesn't deserve maybe possibly reprimand, maybe negligent discharge, whatever. That investigation will prove that. But you just said that he needed to be arrested. And if he did, then they did their job.
I give credit where it's due. You are correct there. However, I will also state that in a situation where you are in an unjust arrest, you do have the right to not submit to an unfit arrest, search, or seizure.
That's not true. That is absolutely not true. It's
written in the Constitution, my friend.
It is. Show me what article.
For one, Article 5, you do not have to incriminate yourself.
No, but that has something completely to do with something different. You're saying that you're talking about unwarranted search and seizure. You're talking about being Mirandized. You're talking about not incriminating yourself. You have the right to trial. You have right to, I get it. But to litigate a issue like a parking ticket or a speeding ticket on the open road with an officer, you have no right. You can do it, and there's consequences for that. But that is not the place to do it. You are not to litigate that crime. You're not to litigate your innocence. That is to be, you do what the officer says. If they take you into custody, you do not resist. The officer is in a pending investigation, and you will comply with them because they are an officer of the law. Even if it's wrong, you still comply because you will have a chance to prove your innocence, and that is in a court of law, not on the street. And this is the problem with these jailhouse lawyer techniques, is that you have a right to resist. No, you don't. No, you don't.
I'm not saying do something that'll get you killed. Absolutely not. But you do have a right to at least be vocal and say, can you get me a supervisor out here? I would like to talk to your supervisor. I would like a lawyer, something like that.
He should have done that. He should have done that. But see, the right to ask for a lawyer, if you have an officer that puts you in handcuffs and sits you down, you're not under arrest. You're being detained. When you are Mirandized, when you are actually taken into custody and your rights are read to you, that is when you're under arrest. And you have a right to ask, officer, am I under arrest? And at this point, I am respectful of your investigation. However, I'm going to go ahead and remain silent, which is my right, and that's it. You can say those things, but what you can't do is litigate your case. Hey, I'm innocent, and resist or push or fight, because what you're doing is you're going to jail.
Yeah, at that point, I agree with you.
Or you're going to the morgue, or you're going to the hospital. So so you get to decide which one you want to do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I mean, some responsibilities falls on the citizens that put themselves in these situations. I completely agree in that regard.
Okay.
I actually do have to get myself to work, but it has been a pleasure to talk with you. It has been very good. I feel like you were actually incredibly respectful the entire time. Thank you so much.
No, hey, real quick before you go, just want to say thank you for your service. Thank you for the Marine Corps. Sorry I challenged you. I was wrong. But we've got a couple.
You know what? Yeah. There's a lot of stolen valor out there.
Yeah,
I am glad to be challenged.
Good for you.
People need to be.
And if people were like you, which 99% of the brothers in arms that we serve with are, you knew what I was doing, and you didn't take it disrespectfully, because I would expect you to do the same for me. And you figured by my responses, I know what I'm talking about. And now we're good, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Anthony, God bless you, brother.
Thanks for calling. Call again.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good day.
Amazing call. I got goosebumps. Yeah, and the thing is I love people like that. Like, and what people need to understand is people are like, oh, Matt, how can you possibly do that? Veterans understand. He's right. There is a lot of stolen valor out there. And when you've got a guy who's literally saying every single thing that one person who calls in does, it's fishy. And trust me, it's tough, man. It's not easy to do this job and identify and be right all the time when people are trolling you. And it's, until you've done it, you can be wrong. So yeah, I thought he was balls. This time I'll admit it, that I thought he was balls. I've now mistaken two people as balls. But the funny thing is most of the time I'm right about who he is.
Exactly.
What do we got?
We got one donation from Lee Wilson, says carry on, $5. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lee. Been a while.
We would appreciate any and all donations, folks.
That was a good call. I like people like that. I like it. England sucks, folks. Let's watch this, and then we will go ahead and move on. Anybody else wants to call, please do so. We'd love to have you on the phone. Here it is.
Have come. Yeah. We don't like it because they're trying to take our land. Right. Oh.
Under arrest. I have the right to conduct a citizen's arrest, and he is under arrest. I'm detaining him under my breach of police powers. He's not going anywhere. He can sit here until the police arrive. He's sitting here. He's biting me. He's biting me.
Mitch is right. I've spoken to Anthony at least 7 or 8 times on this show in the last 5 years, and I don't know why, but Olivia probably recognizes his voice.
Did sound familiar.
It's the guy that you liked last time. It doesn't matter, and I don't care. I love people like that, and if he wants to change his name every time, I don't care. But he does sound very much. If I've got the wrong guy, I've got the wrong guy. But he definitely sounds similar to that guy.
He's not going anywhere. He's just attacked me. He's under arrest. Let go.
Who are you arresting, bro?
I don't. I just get his arm. Get his other arm. No, this man is under arrest.
Oi.
Fucking get off him.
No, bro.
Get off him. Cop. Get off him.
He's just assaulting me.
This is the left guys who've currently just been assaulted for having debates with people.
We've just been insulted by a number of people. Come over, flip the table, smashing camera equipment. I grabbed the man who did it, put him under citizen's arrest, asked for the police to be called. University staff have come in, assaulted me, even though I clearly indicated he's under a citizen's arrest. I had him there, I said, call the police, call the police, call the police. So I requested that you lot were called. And the university staff have come in and assaulted me and helped him get away.
Britain needs mass deportations. This is my organisation, very similar to...
That's going to roll people up, mate, isn't it? If you don't want things to kick off, I suggest you don't create a situation.
So we have to live in a society where we can't stay what a leading polling party in the country
Let me see the footage. This is the man who attacked me. You're going to arrest him.
Step away. Step away.
Wait. Are you going to...
Step away.
Wait, you ease up. He just went and pushed me really aggressively. You're approaching someone else. No, don't touch me. Your colleagues just assaulted me. Learn some manners. We've been talking with United.
Under arrest. Whoa. How? For what?
Help! Get the off of me. Criminal. You are little... I have done no crime. I've been here engaging in a public, peaceful debate, and this is how the police act. This is not acceptable. In England, this is meant to be some sort of democracy. We are meant to have free speech in this country. And my ancestors went through 2 world wars. But this country, I can't breathe. You are criminals. You're violent Tuesday criminals. The minute you knew what was on that banner, you decided, let's go for him. Go for the right winger. Reach up the right winger. You people disgust me. You are corrupt. You are Sadiq Khan's lapdogs. You're a stud staffel. You're a Stasi.
Why is the guy that assaulted me not arrested?
Welcome to England. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that guy was exactly working with a full deck at times, but
No.
At what point do you say no more? What do you think?
He probably shouldn't have been arrested.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what he did. He needed to shut his mouth once the police got there. If he would have just shut his mouth and just had the conversation with the female police officer, things probably would have been completely different. But he started trying to do the whole citizen's arrest thing and trying to go at the dude who attacked him, and he pissed off that male police officer.
Yeah.
And I'm going to assume he got a little shovey back when the police officer pushed him, and that's probably why he's going to jail.
It comes down to this, is that England is not renowned for, even the police officer said it, well, you essentially you're responsible because you started talking about shit that was controversial. But that's where they're at.
I mean, this guy should know, considering that somebody was arrested for saying the word bacon in front of a Muslim.
Right.
I mean, you probably shouldn't. And it really sucks, and I understand you're trying to make a difference, but I don't know if I don't know. You need to have more of a backing. I mean, but it's got to start somewhere. I just don't know
what
if England.
What's got to start somewhere?
It's
like pushing.
Pushing back. A little bit of resistance. You know, I mean.
Well, I don't know. People will say that. Like, let's take that with Alex Preddy. I don't support Alex resisting that, and I don't. Alex Preddy thought he was wronged, and he was standing up. This is not. It's not the time. If you're going to be arrested and an officer has decided that you've broken the law, you're going to have your time in court. It's not then. And I know when I was arrested, the only time I've ever been in handcuffs in my life for, it was bullshit.
Yes.
And I went quietly.
Yep.
I could have created a ruckus. I could have fought and resisted. And everything in my soul just said, follow the law. You're going to have your time. Do what they say. Just go. Call our lawyer. And I'll be out in an hour or two and we'll move on. And that's what happened. And then my innocence was unequivocally proven. But I don't condone people fighting cops. It's stupid. you had video, and they wanted to see the video. So my question is, like, England isn't renowned for their freedom of speech and respecting people. So the thing we need to understand is that that's not what's happening in the United States. People aren't being arrested because of their speech. They're being arrested because they're getting violent, or they're breaking the law, or they're attacking people, or they're blocking traffic, or they're throwing shit. And when people say, well, we're just like England, not really. He's literally getting hogtied and bound because he used speech. And no matter if he was yelling or screaming, it doesn't matter. You can do that all gosh darn day here in the United States. But the moment you touch somebody, he didn't touch anybody, but the moment you touch somebody, the moment that you're violent, you're going to go. That's different than what they were doing. But this guy was attacked. He was attacked. He was sitting down and he was debating, just like Charlie Kirkwood. And he was attacked. And if you're going to arrest one, you should arrest both. But you're right. There's not enough information on the front end or the back end to truly know. But this goes on in England all the time. You can see these videos, and it's ridiculous. People who say bacon. The guy was arrested for saying bacon. They said it's a hate. You're espousing hate speech, and it's a crime, and you need to stop. And he's like, I said bacon. That's all I said. I said bacon. You can't say bacon. What do you mean I can't say bacon? Why can't I say bacon? You can't say bomb on an airplane. Bomb, 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 bomb.
Bombardier.
Bombardier. So it comes down to this. You don't need to lick the boot. If I have an officer who comes up to me and starts just wailing on me for no reason, and he's fighting me and trying to beat the shit out of me, these situations don't take place. This isn't 1920 anymore, folks. This isn't the 1970s. You just don't see that. Someone just beating the shit. There's a reason. People say it all the time. Well, what if it happened to you? It doesn't, and it never has. And I've been the white friend in the car full of black guys too. My good friend Steve Sparks will tell you cops never screwed with him, because he put both hands on the wheel and he did exactly what he was told to do. And so did I. He made sure the music was turned down. He put out a cigarette if he had. He wasn't doing none of that, because he knew you got to shut up. You got to just follow the law, because the sad truth about this is that they have a job to do. And if you break the law, they are bound to go ahead and hold you accountable for it. And it's not the time and place to argue with that in the middle of the street. And that is my argument against Alex Preddy. Everything that leads up to that shooting was his fault. Everything. And if he wouldn't have made 7 or 8 different choices, he would still be alive. And not only did he do it a week before, where honestly, they could have shot him then, because he had his gun on him too. Doesn't make much sense. It was a good phone call. I'm glad Anthony called in. All right, Liv. This is the worst Friday in memory. I don't know what. Can you tell me what's going on?
I have no. Apparently, I came back. I'm not bringing the money in anymore. I don't know.
Holy shit, man!
Wow, $5.
It's a tough night. Maybe we just
tough crowd.
Maybe we just call it tonight. We'll give it 5 more minutes, and if it doesn't get better, we'll call it a night, because. Yeah, we can't do this. Maybe it's a bad night. A lot of people are on. It's weird. What if you're ordering something in a restaurant and you want bacon? Well, that was the point. He was in a restaurant, and it was a Muslim area, but he asked if they had bacon, and they reported him for a hate crime. It's no shit. It's no joke. All right. Anyway, I'm glad Anthony called. I'm glad he's not the person we thought he was. And that person we thought hasn't been really coming around, and
which is good.
That's probably a smart thing for him.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's keep going a little bit, and then if it doesn't get better, we're going to jump. Was Alex Preddy a nutter? Let's find out. This is a good segue into this.
Johnson says the new video destroys a leftist hoax. He argues it proves Preddy was not an innocent bystander or legal observer. Instead, he was, quote, a violent agitator and a psychopath hell-bent on attacking federal law enforcement.
Is that breaking?
And I think the question, though, in response to that is, Does that have any bearing on what happened to him 11 days later?
Yep.
Well, let's be clear. Betty Johnson's right. He's a violent psychopath who is hell-bent on attacking federal law enforcement. We just saw that on video. I mean, he clearly spit at the law enforcement officer. He clearly was doing some sort of jujitsu kicks against the vehicle, which, resulted in the vehicle being smashed and broken. And I think I just want to point out, as someone who does believe in the Second Amendment, and there was so much made about his firearm, responsible gun owners in the concealed carry community, in the gun community, no one who's a responsible gun owner provokes and escalates a fight. That is rule number one if you're going to carry a firearm, is that you automatically lose every fight. You walk away, you don't escalate situations, less not with law enforcement or with anyone else. He is someone who acted wildly irresponsible. Now, fast forward 11 days. He did not. Same video. That was the same concept. The video shows he did not pull a weapon at the time he was shot. So I do, commend DHS for putting these officers on modified duty. I think there needs to be an investigation of what happened. You're not supposed to get shot by police, right? That's not supposed to happen. And clearly there was some incident or some trigger, some cause that caused these officers to fire, and there should be an investigation. But the media narrative about this guy, that he was the second coming of the Lord and he was just this peaceful guy, that's disproven by that video. And Betty Johnson.
I think Johnson says the new video
Liv, what do you
destroys
think? Should there be an investigation on this shooting?
Yes.
Of course there should
There
be.
absolutely should be, because
Absolutely.
We need everything looked at.
Yep.
So it can be proven that, yes, it was a good shooting and the officers were in their rights to do so. So it will shut the left up and say, they're not doing this to be mean and we're not attacking people. They're doing their job. Or if this wasn't done correctly and it was a mistake, then there needs to be consequences for the officers. Now, I don't think that they need to be hung up on a yardarm like the left is going to call for, but there needs to be consequences if it was a wrongful shooting.
It was a wrongful shooting. He didn't pull a firearm. There is no reason for Alex Preddy to die.
Yes.
There's listen, I said it that night. I'll say it now. There was no reason for him to die. There wasn't, except for his actions. And that's what people don't seem to understand. Is you can't say what if. Well, what if they would have? What if they didn't? What if my grandmother had balls? She would be my grandfather at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
John, the SIG 320 to be manipulated and to go off on its own has to be, there has to be a series of events that takes place. We talked about it on the night. I'll show you. So this is a 365. It's not a 320. I'm not going to go and get my 320 upstairs. But if you look at the 365, there is you can hear and see it. See that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
When you look at the barrel of one of these, and everyone's seen them, you can see that it's a floating barrel. Okay? And it goes up at an angle. But there is a little, in this lower receiver, there's really very little moving parts. But there is a metal piece that latches onto the spring, which propels forward and gives you your cycle of your weapon once you depress trigger. And in this situation, I can do nothing with the trigger. See? Nothing. Okay, but once I do this, it's live. And when I do that, I get a click, right? So that is releasing that mechanism to strike round, and then gas expansion, cycles, brings mag up, puts in next round, chambers, fires, and fires, and fires, as many times as you pull the trigger. But with the 320, if a round is in the chamber and you have a round, I'm going to do a naughty. I'm going to do this. And you guys see, I know I'm off to the side. I'm not pointing it into my chest, but still not good. But I'm trying to show you there is a little hole, and that's where your chamber is, right? That's that floating barrel. If you are with a round live, you put a round in there, and you engage off your safe, which essentially locks your slide into place and that's safe if there's no ammo, but if you're in a carrying position in a case or you're taking it to the range, I always carry my gun safe. So, and I put a locking trigger on it if I want to as well. But with the 320, what has to happen is that this needs to be depressed. Not to safe, because there is a catch. When you pull this trigger, there is a stop right here, and that's where your pound of force comes, depending upon what the weight of your trigger is, whether it's 2 pounds, 3 pounds, or...
And by the way, I'm on the opposite side of him.
She's not right there.
So,
Yeah,
right there? Just so you know, he's not pointing the gun at me.
I'm not stupid. You're pointing to a field that's 20 miles out with
I just
nobody
realized
near.
that it looks like it's pointing at me. No. Where I'm not. The way our videos are, it's opposite.
I'm not that stupid. There's nobody there, and there's nobody this could possibly hit. So, if I push or pull, squeeze, this is where it stops. It's about 1/4 of an inch. What that's telling me is now I'm engaged. And if I pull any harder, it's going to squeeze and it's going to depress, and the mechanism is going to go ahead and fire. That little pressure right there, they're putting a screw up in the trigger guard to keep that depressed. And then when they squeeze this, the latch will slip, throw the striker forward, and pop a round off. That's the 320, and that's the flaw. Now, they've recalled the 320 and had a voluntary recall, but it doesn't matter. The 320s do that. Now, in order for that all to happen, he would have to have a round chambered. He would have to have depression on the trigger and manipulate a squeeze, which the squeeze could be going through his holster, but there was no trigger that we could see. Those situations have to be just right for that to happen. So was it an end? I would listen, before I would say it's a 320 firing on its own volition, I would say that it's negligent discharge, and that when he grabbed the weapon, he slid his finger in the trigger guard and accidentally depressed the trigger and accidentally shot him and then just continued to shoot. However, that theory is also negated because then he put multiple rounds in him. If it was an ND, he was like, oh, gee, you guys, I didn't mean to. Oh my God. I was pulling. I was going to tell him to freeze, and it just went off. He didn't. He continued to shoot him. And to have the presence of mind to say, oh my God, I just had an ND and I accidentally shot this guy. Now I'm going to go ahead and really shoot him and kill him harder. No, I believe that he shot him because he saw, understand, when you are getting sensory overload in a situation like that, you're hearing the whistles, it's cold, you got pepper spray, you got mace, you were just in a tussle with a guy, you're breathing really hard, you're sweating, it's hard to see, there's a big combat going on, 6 guys reaching and grabbing and hands all over the place, you don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden you see the grip of a gun and you're like, oh my God, there's a gun, and then you see it come out, you're like, oh my God, it's gun, bam! That's how fast it happens. And the reason why I'm yelling and getting all freaking anxious is because that's what's going on. But times it by all the people involved, the slippery road, the screaming, the yelling, the whistles, all of this shit. In my opinion, it was probably sensory overload, and his brain could not process what his eyes were seeing. And he saw a threat and immediately saw a gun, knew it wasn't a standard issue, knew it wasn't one of his buddies, knew it came from the assailant, and screamed gun and fired because he thought his buddies were going to get killed. That's what probably happened. And he's not going to get arrested for that. He's not going to lose his job for that. Because honestly, that's a training issue. It is an unfortunate circumstance that was brought on by Alex Preddy. Period. Yep. Good conversation.
All right. CJ Jenkins. Happy Red Friday. And CJ, you have a new mug coming your way. Just so you know, I will send you the new tracking order after the show.
I called our vendor, and they were so sorry, and they apologized immensely. They're sending you a new mug.
Yes. Our vendor's awesome. So, yeah.
Yes.
Just wanted to let you know it is coming your way. Let us know when you get it, please. And what everyone wants to know is she was one of the end of the year winners, and she got a coffee mug. Well, unfortunately, it was damaged in transit, but our vendor's awesome and just sent out a new mug. So just
all
so
right.
you know.
So everyone understand, but the 320, yes, it happened in a matter of seconds. I think it was all of it. The agent saw the gun on his holster, and Preddy was reaching for it, knowing it was still there. I totally agree with you. Yeah. And honestly, here's the thing. Do you want to hear something crazy?
Yes.
if I was on the ground, or if I was standing up, or I was in line at Disneyland, which I wouldn't have it at Disneyland, and somebody touches my gun, I'm going to reach for my gun too. It's a natural reaction. If somebody reaches for my waistband, if someone reaches, touch, I'm immediately reaching behind me, no matter what situation I'm in. Alex Preddy, I am not going to fault him for reaching. I know that sounds stupid, but in that situation, he's a gun owner. And his gun's being taken from him. And even if he wasn't going to reach, but even if just a flinch, like, dude, my gun's being taken. Like, I'm a gun owner. Your biggest fear in the world is someone getting a hold of your piece. It just is. And anyone who carries knows what I'm saying. It's instinct, your natural reaction. Even in that fucked up situation, you got to tell yourself, what you do is you don't put yourself in that fucking situation.
Do you think because he had an issue with ICE over a little over a week ago before it happened, that they know who is agitating and who's actually physically going after?
Yeah, and I don't think they knew he had
officers.
a gun. I don't think they saw the gun at the time. This is a training issue. Like, the first thing that I would do in an altercation, and I'm not a cop, but I'm going to get his license and I'm going to run his ID and I'm going to find out if he's concealed carry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once I establish that he's concealed carry, I am going to make sure he is removed from the premises at all times, because I'm going to essentially vacate him with a trespass charge, violation of carrying a firearm in that situation of essentially committing a crime. Him carrying a firearm without a permit is a crime. It's a felony. You can't do it. Then instigating lawlessness and crime while you have a firearm is even worse. So my point is I would take him out. I would get him out of the situation. And when I saw him, I would immediately ensure that he was arrested every single time. Because once you trespass him and then he's carrying a gun, now it's not just a felonious charge of not having a permit. He's carrying an illegal firearm. They should have 11 days ago grabbed him, arrested him, but they couldn't because the local effing cops were not there. And that is not a federal issue. That is a city and state issue. And a lot of these ICE guys are like, fuck it, forget it. He kicked our taillight. Who cares? We'll get it fixed. Let's just fucking go. Get him off the car, get him out of the road, and let's go. But if those city and state cops were there doing their jobs like they were supposed to, Alex would have been arrested and booked, and he would have lost his firearm that day. Mm-hmm. They would have confiscated his firearm. They would have taken his license. They would have contacted the state, revoked his CCL, and then the next time he had it, not only would he be flagged with every officer in the morning briefing that if this guy shows up, he is a terroristic threat, he has a firearm, he is armed and dangerous. That's what should have happened, but it didn't. Yeah, Paul. That's really funny, Paul. Thanks, buddy. Go do some more meth, man. Pauline's upset. You're stupid. You're an idiot. Bye-bye. Okay, Paul. It's pretty...
Thanks for announcing your departure. We will surely miss you.
You call it out.
Miss Debbie Boggs, let's go, dummies. Get on the train. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Brian Hayek says, I contend it. Thank you very much, Debbie. I contend it's entirely possible that the officer had initiated firing, could have been the holstered firearm 1 second, and in the next second observed that it was gone and didn't see one of the officers actually remove it and believe the firearm was in nefarious hands. I'm pretty sure he saw it removed. But he didn't you got to understand when you're dealing with that much input and it's that stressful and it's that crazy and there's so much going on, is you have a millisecond to respond. And these guys are trained to pull when they see gun. And when he saw that removed, listen, I'm not making excuses for the guy. I'm just telling you, none of you, the people who have never been in that situation are not going to ask those questions. You know what I mean? They're not going to doubt it. If you've been in that situation, you understand. Even Pauline, who ran away because he's unhappy. Sorry that the truth hurts you, man. I'm sorry that I'm going to be based on multiple different avenues here, that I can go ahead and blame. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were done. Chuck ahead. Peterson says, great show. Thanks, Anthony, for a great conversation. This donation is to break the ice. Fun is lighthearted. Please support the donor friend me.
Thank you, Chucky.
I love you, Chucky.
151 halfway. Finally, that's a little bit better. So listen, it just comes down to this. There are multiple sides to this situation, just like J6, just like 2020, just like COVID. There's multiple sides to this situation. But the one thing that rings true, the ask the why portion of this conversation is, did he deserve to be arrested? Yes. What led up into the events of him being shot? Those things never should have happened, and they were all the responsibility of Preddy. Period. Plain and simple. That's it.
Yes.
Do your job. Sorry, Pauline. Let me look at Pauline. Let me see his picture.
Thomas Austin, Psalms, I think it says 86:11. Teach me your way, O Lord, that I may walk in your truth. Unite my heart to thank you to fear your name. I could not read the white on the light. It was
he looks
messing with me.
He looks like Morty from The Ref. Gussie, the drunk guy, a little bit.
It's been way too long since I've seen it.
See, Pauline, I wish you would tell me why I'm an idiot. That would help me out, make me feel better.
There, we have somewhat of a new Canadian viewer.
Whom?
His name is Nate Dogg. And we've been talking hockey. He's an Edmonton fan.
Well, if it's Nate Dogg, why are you calling yourself Nate Dogg? That's McKinnon.
I know. Well, I was like, are you an Edmonton Oilers fan? And he's like, kind of have to be. His grandma used to hang with Wayne Gretzky and coffee. So he's like, kind of in the territory. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, no,
I can't blame you for that. But
no, the Avs are in a slump. It seems like everyone's gone through a slump. They finally are too.
All right, here's this one is from Joanne Townsend.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you so much.
Anthony, let's have a conversation. You can't send alcohol to Virginia. You get your ass arrested. So we'll have to have a conversation. Thank you, Joanne. We love you. But Anthony, get to work. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Anthony.
Moral fagging. This is a new term. I've never heard of it before. But you're the one that linked the video. Will you watch these things that you bookmark?
I did watch the video.
No, you didn't. Because
let me see what video is, because there's been 3 videos on here that you
said
I
It's really
linked
hard for me to assume that you couldn't know moral fagging. How do you not remember that?
Because I watch the video and I usually don't read the remarks.
So this is a really interesting term, moral fagging. I don't think I'm going to. Yeah, Stars are back. Stars are fine. You guys are 5-1 in your last 6. Minnesota's 4-1 in their last 5. The Avalanche have lost 8 out of their last 12, which is still their incredibly unbelievable record.
Some of those are overtime losses, so they really don't count.
The Avs just need to get to the Olympic break, because I think they're all thinking about the Olympics. Can I just be honest with you? I think they've checked out. Half the team's going to the Olympics. I think they got a really sizable lead. They got like 4 games on hand on everybody, and they're still 10 points ahead in the league. They do need to address some problems, though. But they're also, I think, waiting around for the Panarin trade. And they're also waiting around for the O'Reilly trade. And they're waiting around for the Kadri trade, because either Kadri, Panarin, or O'Reilly, one of those guys is coming to the Avs from everything I've heard. One's going to the Stars and the other one's going to the Wild. That's my understanding. So it's just a matter of which one we get. So it's crazy. No more hockey. Let's talk about this. Moral fagging. This, like I said, I have never heard this term, and I listened to it. I'm like, all right, this is interesting. Let's go ahead. Good luck with this name of putting that one in. You'll see it.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Where did it go? Oh, hold on, everybody. It's not my fault.
I'll put in a donation.
Yeah, do it quick.
Yep. Mr. Robert Marlar, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Where is this thing?
Technical difficulties happens when you don't have people working for you.
We have a real problem.
Alert, journalist Don Lemon has been arrested.
What do you think of this? I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt.
So it's just that one.
Okay, so let me find it. Hold on, everybody. You put these in, okay?
Yes.
And I got to try to find this video.
All right.
I just want to make clear.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Oh,
Thank you for all your service.
Jessica
Tarla.
This may be an.
Well, they already have come.
Yeah.
We don't.
Johnson says the new video.
Pretty much.
Maybe I don't have it. Oh, hold on, let me check downloads. Here we go.
Okay, Candace, let's do it.
Why do you?
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah, fucking political.
Yes, I got it. Okay, here it is. So it's in downloads. Locate file. Go to downloads. I see it. Here it is. Enjoy, everybody. A little bit of language.
Yeah, fucking political. That was murder. An ICU nurse who worked at the VA, who was legally...
No hockey. Who you picking? The Seahawks are going to destroy them. The Seahawks are going to win by 21. That's my opinion.
...carrying a firearm that was fucking holstered while he was filming. Who is now being painted as a domestic terrorist because he took a gun to a protest.
Now, like you said, we're not getting political.
Olivia always looks amazing. A little too masculine for my taste, to be honest.
That's funny.
Long story.
And I'm not getting political. But what I don't really have a tolerance for is moral fagging. Performative moral fagging. You're clearly very amped up about what you deem an excessive response to something that was not that problematic. But if that's the case, shouldn't you be consistent with that across everything? You know, shouldn't you apply your morals universally? That's typically how it works, unless you're just moral fagging. So say somebody like said you looked like a gay guy, and then you doxed him, his job, his address, and his entire family. Would that be something that was too excessive? Because you did do that.
Hate is receiving homophobic comments like this one. And something else you may not know is that I'm a former bounty hunter. So, shout out to my boy Tomo. Nick, welcome to Real Life Consequences. Your middle name is... You were born in September. The last 4 digits of your phone number are... You're a journeyman welder at your UA local. You've been there since February.
That's
not good. That's some pretty good money, which probably is how you afforded that 3-bed, 2-bath house right across from...
So a guy said that you look like a gay guy on TV, which is, I mean, it's true. You do look like him. And you decide to tell everybody his full name, his date of birth, his phone number, where he lives, where he works, and try to completely ruin his life. That would seem like an excessive response to what happened, okay? If people are going to say you look like a fag, that's just going to happen, right? Well, we get hate comments. Oh, but what I'm not going to stand for is homophobic comments in 2026. It's the big 2026, guys. It's the current year. So it's not even about being political. It's just about this moral fagging performative bullshit. If you want to be this fucking high and mighty moral creator that's better than everybody.
What do you mean I said that about the Broncos? I never said the Broncos were going to win the Super Bowl. When did I say that? James, when did I say that? I think I said that the Broncos were going to beat the Patriots when Bo Nix didn't have a broken fucking ankle and Snowmageddon didn't happen. How many yards did New England gain in the entire fourth quarter? 0? Oh. You mean the same that the Broncos did, and they literally just punted the football back and forth because nobody could gain a yard because they couldn't see and they were slipping all over the place? Once that field goal was kicked, the game was over. Completely different game. But no, I didn't. You can show me the clip. I'll give you $1,000 gift card to the store that I said the Broncos were going to win the Super Bowl. I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe you shouldn't put someone's life in danger or their job in danger or endanger their fucking family just because they said you look like a fag. If you want to dox me, Scott.
All right. So you got this video. I'm not sure why. Okay. So Liv, what made you attracted to moral fagging?
Well, I wasn't attracted to moral fagging. It's the next video that we're going to watch that I did put a bookmark it. That is the reason I had to go back and find that video.
Where?
I was in bookmarks.
There is no, okay, you didn't tell me that there was a consequence to this. You mean you have nothing to say about this video?
No, well, that was one of the main reasons I put it on there because...
For what? What's the next video?
The next video is him crying and apologizing for doing all that because his main sponsor dropped him.
Okay, so let's just talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's spend too much time on this.
So his main sponsor, because I saw the apology video first, and I'm like, why is this guy doing this? So I researched him, and that's what I found. But that was the only video I could find that kind of explained everything.
This is this guy, the walrus mustache?
The fitness dude that was
the walrus mustache guy.
Walrus mustache. So, but it's pretty funny watching him like just blubber like a little
I wish
baby.
I would have known. You have to give me these things. You were sitting right here when I downloaded the video. I mean, you got to tell me. I don't know. So that from now on, this is what we're going to do. You're going to bookmark something and then you're going to give me instructions like, hey, put this video in this video. Cool.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So here's my thing is that if you want to put my address out, there's really no, so if you want to put out my phone number, fine. You want to put out my social security. Okay. You can find my phone number on the Facebook page. You can find my address on the Facebook page because I have to disclose it because I'm a political entity. It's not hard to solicit my income tax returns. It's as far as my filings, it's not hard to find out where I am. I'm kind of with this guy. Is if you dox me, so what? And I believe this. If you get into this game, you have to be prepared for the crazies. You have to be prepared for the people who are insane. This is a part of the job. I mean, we deal with it all the time. We all the time we deal with these nutters. So my whole point is this: if you're going to get into this and you don't know how to protect yourself, or you don't know how to ensure that, you know, your home is secure, and you watch where you go, and you constantly are situationally aware, then you shouldn't be doing this, or you need to hire private security. And that's the truth. And so I don't feel for people who are like, oh, you know, God, I can't believe this is my life. It's like, well, if you're going to say controversial shit, it may not be right, but there's going to be people who are going to want to take you out for it. But I also think people who dox and people who do this, it should be a felony. I think it's absolutely wrong to distribute private information. I mean, it's absolutely wrong. 100%.
Yes, I absolutely agree.
Yeah, Thomas says, have her submit a written brief for each video with subject, location. No, just how about tell me that you must have 2 videos connected together.
In my defense.
How about my defense? How about my defense? Why do you get to defend yourself?
Well, not defense.
You're the one that made the mistake. Why should I? Okay, go ahead.
Well, I knew Ethan had his baseball assessment today, so I knew I had to take him to that. And normally I sit down in the studio and we prep the show together. I was not going to be here, so I went. And when I had like 5 minutes today and just went on and I found like 10 things and I just bookmarked them, and that was that. And I didn't have time to explain. So normally I would, but so now I know that if I'm not going to be here to help prep, that I should prep you and let you know.
Yeah. So
that's all.
Listen, I don't care enough about the Broncos to have an argument with about it, James. I don't care. I don't. I really don't. I don't like Seattle. I don't like New England. Both of them can go fuck themselves. I just never said the Broncos were going to win the Super Bowl, ever. I never said that. I said the Broncos are a really good team, and they're going to be hard to beat. And let's face it, they were. You won by a field goal. And after the fourth quarter, both teams did nothing. And you and I both know if Bo Nix was in there, it was a backup quarterback. And you guys, we had a beat-up running back. We had a beat-up offensive line. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't think you're going to beat Seattle. They're a track team. They are good. They are exceptional. I don't know how you're going to cover them. Your defense is good. I'm not saying the New England's a slump team, but I think New England's one of the most overrated 14-3 teams out there. That's all. You know, don't ask my opinion if you don't care. So that's all I'm saying. Stop moral fagging, James. Damn it.
I got one more donation.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not even going to attempt this name. I'm just going to say his first name.
I'm going to try it. Okay. Here we go. Let's see if I can do it.
His name is John. And I copied and pasted that, so I have no idea.
Slégenez.
Is it French?
Slégenez. I'm going through all pronunciations.
Maybe you could let us know how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry, John.
Slégienne. It's not about suck, James. You guys might win. I don't know. And I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. Spell it again.
Let me look.
Faster.
I'm looking. It is.
Oh my gosh.
SLE.
Hold on. Okay.
G-I think it's.
Oh my God, can you go faster?
SLEGIANSNES. Sorry, it's really
Say it
slow.
again. Oh my God.
I can't freaking see. SLGIANES. I'm freaking blind.
Okay, here we go. Slégienne, I would say. No. Allegiance.
No, because it says, "Did you mean allegiance?"
I'm like, oh my God, I didn't read the top part. I'm like, that's bullshit.
Like, wait a second.
but don't look at the allegiance. Look at what it says right here.
Yeah.
Allegiance.
Well, that's why I was
no, I know. Don't read that. I'm asking. This is what it says. Allegiance. And I'm like, that's not allegiance. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I know what it said was wrong. Here, I'm really interested to hear this. Okay, let's hear this. Hold on.
So on a side note, how long has it been since the Canadian team has won the cup?
32 years.
Okay.
Sleganese. Why is Nate Dogg talking shit?
No,
Okay.
he's not talking
because
shit. He just thinks that the Oilers.
Hey, I have a question from 2022. Has Edmonton won a game against the Avs yet?
Oh, that's right. We did sweep you in 21.
Big broom. All right, let's listen.
2022.
Let's listen. Okay, here we go. Yeah, no, I didn't think that's how it was pronounced. Come on, show me. All right, here it is. Let's listen. Oh, I'm not going to watch an ad. Go fuck yourself.
Slegians.
Slegians.
What nationality is that?
Sounds some Norwegian.
That's what I was.
Slegians.
Interesting.
Slegians. There he is, John. Slegianis. Oh no, he says Sleganus. Is that Hungarian? Polish? Sleganus. Hold on. Now I'm interested. now I'm interested. Is that Polish or Hungarian? Which? I would have sworn it was Sleganese. All right. What nationality? Hold on. Come on. Nobody knows. It's stumped everybody. Hold on. He's calling. You're damn right. What the fucking nationality is it, John? I mean, you're freaking me out here.
It's Greek.
It can't be.
There's a bunch of letters missing.
Uh-huh.
Right. All right, let me mute myself because there's a huge delay here.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll wait.
There you go. Yeah, I figured it would be I put it in the comments, but I figured it'd be a lot easier. So it's Greek. There's a lot of letters missing. The way it's spelled, if you just take the I out, that's how it sounds. It's Sleganus.
Oh, well, then I would have had a good. The I was throwing me up because I'm a Callias.
Okay.
My Yayam Papu were Greek. They were, Poya Callias. And so.
Oh, wow.
So I've got a lot of Greek in me. That's on my mom's side, but they were 100%. My great grandmother was 100%. Grandmother 50, mom 25. So, oh yeah. So
yeah, my dad was 50, and his grandparents are 100. And they came across, and so it used to be Skagyanis. So it had a K in it and two N's.
Yep.
And it actually made more sense like that. Yeah. And I've actually thought about changing it, but from grade school on, nobody can pronounce it.
Yeah, let's make it harder, John. That's a good idea. Let's make it more complicated. So if you look up my grandmother, you might see it, but it was Poda Callias was her name, and she was on the LPGA. And
wow!
Yep, she didn't speak a lick of English. She was on the Ladies Pro Golf Association. She golfed until last round of golf was in the Ventura County Press at 99 years old. She lived to 103, and she amazing woman, just an amazing woman. But as Greek could be. I mean, she strained her olives through her pantyhose. That's about as Greek as you can get.
That's hilarious. I have a very small family. My sister has traced our ancestors back to Greece. They're from Arakova. And I have a 103-year-old great aunt that actually FaceTimed my 87-year-old dad, a few months ago. It was amazing.
That's crazy. Sleganus. Now I'll remember it now. I think once you take out the I, it completely changes the vernacular. But I would have sworn Polish when you were saying. But that now it
makes sense. Skagyanis. If you put the other letters in there, it makes total sense.
Sure, it does. All right. Well, thanks for telling us.
And my dad. I just stumbled across your site. I think a week or two ago, and I like your guys' insight, man. You were one of the few that had the correct insight on the shooting. I mean, you had originally jumped on the bandwagon and said, "Oh my God, he pulled a gun," and then you actually went on and said, "You know what? That guy disarmed him," and you were absolutely correct.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean in the split second that it didn't. Again, my dad was a Leo, I wasn't. But I mean, I can't imagine being in that situation. And you see the gun coming out of the holster. You don't know whose hand it is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, man.
Here's the best, John. Here's the best thing that I can show you and talk to you about. And I got to see a video about this, and this will help people understand. So, reaction is always slower than action. Always. In every situation, you even talk to a boxer. Action is always going to be faster than reaction, right? So the best way to describe it is I'm going to do this with Olivia. We're going to do this real quick. Okay, so let's switch cameras. And Olivia, I'm going to put this green toothpick right there. Everyone can see it, okay?
Okay.
And you can put your hand right here.
Oh, it's my left hand. I got.
It doesn't matter, right. Olivia. You don't stand a fucking chance anyway. I love you. Move your drink. Put your drink away. Put your hand right here, just like this, same height as me, right here. Z Kyle. Okay, great. Now, the one rule is that you can't go until I say go. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so you can't go. So. What you saw there was my action was a lot faster, and I even gave her the code word. But the point is that an officer, when he reacts to a serious threat, he is already behind. So when somebody says, "Well, he did it in a second and whatever," right? But that's his mind also processing that a gun was seen and a gun was pulled, and his reaction, he's trained right when he sees that to pull his weapon and contradict the threat with his own amount of force. And I just demonstrated.
And they yelled gun. So they yelled gun. Yep. There's whistles going off and sirens, and it's already chaos.
Yes.
And then he sees a gun, and the guy's reaching. It was like the triple crown.
Right.
Of course he's going to get capped.
And in 1,000 attempts, I could put that toothpick there, and Olivia will never get it, as long as she can't go until I go first. That's the rule.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, and that's what cops have to face. They are never going to be ahead of the curve. So they're always going to be second best in their reaction. And that helps people understand why they can't negotiate with themselves. That's where the gut reaction, the instinct comes in. He saw gun, heard gun, pulled gun. Holy shit, I'm going to die. Got to pull my gun and fire because that's what I've been trained to do. That's why I don't.
Yeah, there's like 5 things. And he was reaching. Like you said earlier, if somebody was going for my gun, I'd reach at the same time as well.
Yep.
Because you don't want the bad guy to get the gun.
Correct.
And in his mind, they're the bad guys. So it was just a comedy. I mean, it's just terrible.
All right. It's a Greek fucking tragedy. That's what it is, John.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll talk to you later, buddy. Good call.
Thanks,
All right,
John.
thank you.
All right, I really like that guy.
That's cool. That's awesome that he called in.
So, Mrs. says, not to change the subject, but I absolutely love the beautiful what?
Sorry,
Go
Jeff
ahead,
Oliphant in it to win it for some other lucky dog. It's
not in it to win it tonight. It's not in it to win it. God, what a night. So, Mrs.
Jeff,
says,
it's the first Friday of the month. This is the last Friday.
We'll take your money anyway. We'll take it anyway. So, I love this too. I am working on getting another camera so I can send Leroy. And as soon as I do that, I'm going to fix the camera dead center here and show this wide angle shot because the set is gorgeous and we want to do it more often. And the best way to do it is to get a new camera. So we have this one right over here and it's great, but it doesn't show the whole set. And the whole set really is awesome. We put a lot of work into this and we don't get to show it enough. So we will do that. And it's good feedback. And it just reminds me that I need to get off my ass and get that thing ordered. And do that. You know, I might want to consider putting in I could put a further lens back and we could be zoomed back.
Like a wide angle lens. It's going to have to be.
No, that will be a wide angle, but I'm talking about these main lenses. Oh. I love these lenses are so good. I'm going to keep them. All right. Anyway, whatever. Now you're making me second guess myself. Knock it off. All right. $259 to gold, $40 away. Let's keep going. Nurse update. Oh God, oh shit. I got so much to do. So moral fagging was a complete waste of time. But that's okay. Here we go. Don Lemon, Fox charges. We've been meaning to cover this. The gay wanker is officially been, yeah. Nate Doug goes, I thought it was an awesome reaction. Was that Olivia's reaction where she literally was like this and didn't move? Here's Don Lemon, Fox charges.
Journalist Don Lemon has been arrested in connection with an anti-ICE protest at a church in St. Paul, Minnesota. Bill Malusian joins us now with more on this breaking news. Hey, Bill.
Yeah, Charlie, good morning to you. Our colleague David Sputton.
Hey, real quick, guys, code DUM10, DUM10. Anyone can use that on the site. If you want to go and use that to get some coffee, go get some shirts, some hats, whatever. Reload subscriptions are available. 5-pound bags are available. Head on over to the site. We haven't made a sale tonight, and I've been like really stoked because for like the last 14 nights we've sold something on the site. I want to keep going. There's great shirts over there. There's great hats
They're
over
so
there.
comfy.
There's something you have over there. Olivia, our kids are wearing the hoodies now. Everybody loves them. I'm telling you, the stuff that we sell is not shit. It is high quality, top of the line stuff. We sell it for a reason. There is nothing like. You go look at these tumblers, you're going to find these tumblers for $35, $40. But this is actually like, you can't scratch this off. This isn't some stupid sticker. It's actually like bonded on. Olivia will tell you. It's incredible. Our stuff is not cheap. Metal straws, not plastic, high quality stuff. Coffee's great. Go on over there, take a look, and now we'll watch the rest of this.
Getting this breaking news from multiple law enforcement sources just minutes ago, confirming that former CNN anchor Don Lemon has been arrested by federal agents in Los Angeles just after midnight this morning at a hotel. This obviously all in connection with that storming of a church in St. Paul, Minnesota by that group of anti-ICE agitators. Now remember, the feds had gone to judges to try to get Don Lemon arrested before. They went to a magistrate judge in Minnesota who didn't sign off on an arrest.
Mel says dumb 50? No, dumb 10. What do you mean dumb 50?
No.
God, Mel,
She's been gone for a week and then comes back and starts talking shit.
No shit, Mel. I reached out to you today and I asked how you were. You didn't even answer me.
She's been with her mom.
Oh, how's mom doing? Dumb 50. No, not dumb 50. No, not a chance in hell.
Warrant for him. Then it went to a judge.
Dumb 10. DUM10.
Above him, he didn't sign off on an arrest warrant for him. Then it went to an appeals court. They also decided not to sign off for an arrest warrant for him. So there was experts who were predicting that perhaps the feds would go to a grand jury. It remains to be seen if that's what happened here, but we can confirm that Don Lemon was arrested in Los Angeles by federal agents just after midnight Los Angeles time at a hotel. Now, typically, standard procedure with an arrest like this is the defendant will likely make their first court appearance sometime the same day. So there's a chance we may see Don Lemon make his first court appearance in Los Angeles sometime today. But obviously, this is going to grab all sorts of headlines. 3 other protesters from that church storming, have already been arrested, including who the feds say was the organizer of that protest. The woman in the middle there is a school board member in St. Paul, and then the mugshot on the right is an online personality / agitator, if you want to call him that. He's known as the Woke Farmer. Those were the 3 people that the feds had already arrested, but we have confirmed that Don Lemon has now been arrested.
All right, so we've got a couple other videos to talk about on this subject. Let's get to it. Should Don Lemon, a journalist, by all accounts, trust me, I understand that he's a douche. Hasn't it always been dumb 10? Yes, but not everybody here has known that. Tammy, a lot of people are new and they don't know they can save 10%. So, we know he's a knucklehead. We don't agree with what he said, but is it okay to arrest a journalist? If
there have journalistic integrity, yes, and they're there to actually cover as a journalist, not be part of the agitation and the protesters.
Right.
And he was clearly a part of the agitation and protesters.
Yes.
And everything, everything he said, the videos he recorded before he went there, that proved that he knew exactly what was going on, that he was in support of it. And all the other videos that he was in when the pastor asked them to leave and he didn't.
Yeah,
and he refused. And the fact that he was basically taunting little kids crying because they were terrified.
Right.
I mean, yes, he absolutely deserves to be arrested. Now, if he just happened to show up because someone gave him a tip, he stayed on the outside of the church, didn't go in and just talk to people as they came out of what happened, no, he shouldn't be, because he did his job as a journalist, but he's not. He's been a bit of an a-hole for a while, and he's been an agitator for a very long time. He started to suck on CNN, and he has just gotten 10 times worse since CNN fired him. And he's a nobody who used to be somewhat relevant, who's trying to be relevant again. And he's so far away from being it that he's doing whatever he can and grasping at straws to try and get there. He jumped on the Jew train. That didn't work.
Jew train.
He jumped on the...
Sorry, Barry. Those are the wrong type of trains.
Sorry, wrong type.
Train is not necessarily... Maybe the cart, the Jew cart.
I didn't even think of
or
that.
the Jew track, but Jew trains. Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
he put himself in the Jew
It's wrong.
this easy Jew oven. And I loved...
God, that's horrible.
I loved baking brownies in my easy Jew oven.
Oh gosh.
You're the one who said it.
I didn't mean to.
It's like when you said Lori Lightfoot looked like a struck match.
Well, she does.
Olivia goes, Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, looks like a struck match. And I'm like, oh my God, you can't fucking say that.
I am speaking the truth because she freaking
that was
does.
That was like her second night on.
I know. You
and
wanted me on.
When you are a casual observer, Jew bus, Joanne says. I don't know if that's so much better. Okay, so when you move from observation to antagonization, instigation, that's it. He was a part of that. He absolutely condoned it. I showed you the video that's going to get him, is when he said that those kids deserved for it to happen. Yes, he deserves to be arrested. Does he deserve to go to jail? No. No, he does not deserve to go to jail. Come on, people.
Oh, I'm sure he'd like it, though.
He's probably gonna get some community service. He's probably gonna get a fine for this. This is his first offense. He's never been in trouble with the law again. He's gonna get a fine, but he doesn't deserve to go to jail. That's stupid. Like, come on. I mean, the guy's a fruitcake, but he doesn't deserve to be, unless he wants to go. He's like, sir, please, can you just, like, one night, just maybe? And for a guy who hates white people, he sure loves his husband, who happens to be white. Isn't that interesting? But no, he doesn't deserve to go to jail. What he does deserve is to be sued off of his ass by every single parishioner in that church who had kids, and sue him civilly. That I'm down for. Bankrupt him. Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm totally down for that. Bankrupt his ass.
Absolutely.
Here's the absolutely. Here's the rest.
What do you think of this? I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful.
So the title of this is Don Lemon Takes It Hard. Count 118 USC S 241, conspiracy against right of religious freedom at place of worship. Count 2, 18 USC S248 A and B 552A, FACE Act, injure, intimidate, and interfere with exercise of right of religious freedom at a place of worship. So did you guys hear that? Let me say it again. The FACE Act of injure or to intimidate or interfere. That is going to open up the civil case like a hot tamale. He's in some deep trouble. I have a feeling that a lot of this, more than likely, the prosecutorial side of this will probably be a plea down, but the civil side of this is going to be absolutely, when he pleads to it, he is going to be open up to civil suits, and it's going to be bad.
It's going to be like O.J. Simpson.
Oh, okay. No, it's not going to be like O.J. Simpson. But
well, as far as he wasn't criminally charged, but he was freaking bankrupted civilly.
A little bit different. He didn't decapitate a white woman and a white guy with a freaking, butcher's knife. But yeah, it's close. There'll be a civil suit, and it's going to be brutal. But these charges are in line with that, especially when they use the FACE Act to injure and to intimidate. That is provable because you have him on tape doing that with the kids, where he says this is traumatic for the kids. This must be horrible for the kids.
But it needs to happen.
But it needs to happen because they have to learn. These are federal violations. This is a federal violation, even though it's the United States District Court. So being district, it is a federal case. So yes, it is.
Which means the next Democrat president that gets in is going to pardon him. But
no. Here's the thing. And I was thinking about this. I think this would be a clever stroke. Donald Trump comes out and goes, listen, Don called me. Yes, just lie. He doesn't have to prove it. Don called me and apologized for the way he was acting and said he was rude and he's been mean to me, and he asked me if I would pardon him. And we agreed. And we agreed on so many things. It was one of the best calls I've ever had. And Don really, really apologized and said that a lot of the things that he says, he just says because he's trying to find himself again. And he actually agrees with me with most of the policies that take place. And I wanted to give him a pardon. So I did. And Don and I are good friends now. And we're going to spend the rest of it just completely screw his credibility. Lie your ass off. Well, we had dinner. I had him over and we ate in the West Wing. And it was lovely. And we're going to be working together in the future. And I'm really excited for Don. So I'm going to pardon him. That'd be kind of cool.
So Debbie said that a little girl broke her arm in all of this. He's screwed.
Matt, didn't the woman who prayed outside this abortion clinic go to jail for the same thing? How is that any different than what Lamont did? Listen, I'm not saying, okay, I'm not saying that that's right. Because that was wrong. And I understand, but can we go back to the golden rule of 2 wrongs don't make a right? I do not believe that anyone who is outside of an abortion clinic who is preaching the word of God, if you are asked to leave and you don't leave and it's private property, you're trespassing and you should go. Here's where I come down on this, okay? Mm-hmm. Just because you have the right to say it, sometimes maybe you shouldn't. And there are people and there are women who are going into those clinics who are making a very, very difficult decision. And the last thing that I think a young girl or young woman or a mom, for whatever reason they're deciding to do this, and although I don't agree with their decision, I don't think they should be mocked, ridiculed, shunned. And I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Does that deserve jail time? No. But I think being Christian is different than being morally superior. We're all sinners. And Jesus died for all of our sins, not just people who get abortions or not just people who fornicate with the opposite sex or people who cheat on their income tax return or cheat on their wives. We're all sinners. And that debt is paid. And through the lens of Jesus Christ, as God looks upon us, we are clean of sin for his sacrifice. If that's the way I understand it, and that's the way I've heard it, I think there is a time and a place to educate, and I think there's a time and a place to confront, and I just don't know if it's the right thing to do in front of a Planned Parenthood clinic. I haven't given it a lot of thought, but nobody deserves to be in jail for using their voice. But if they were trespassing and asked to leave, how is that any different? I think the FACE Act is very, very clear. But no, I don't believe that Don Lemon needs to go to jail. I think he was arrested, he was booked, he was fingerprinted, he has a mugshot. Very much what happened to Trump. And I don't think he's a flight risk. And I think he can go ahead and get into a court. And I think he should not be thrown in prison on the first offense. I'm sorry, I don't like the twatty little bitch either, but I don't think he should be in jail. Sorry. But he should get his ass sued.
Oh, yeah. Those parents of that little girl need to sue.
But what about on the sidewalk? Well, Thomas, that's not my understanding of what took place, though. My understanding is that they weaponized this to go after several people who were protesting to make an example out of. That's my understanding. I don't... Liv, what do you think? You're a woman. I mean, do you think that one of Hayden's friends who's making one of the toughest decisions of her lives, have you and I screaming at her that she's a baby killer and she's going to burn in hell, is the right thing to do?
I think, no, it's not. And I think that it should be the rules like it is for Election Day. You have to be a certain amount of feet away from the polling place to have any type of what?
Look at Karen. Karen goes, I agree, Matt. Let's not be moral fagging. I agree. Karen's one of my favorite people. I just,
Oh my
I can
goodness,
never
that's
be grumpy with
hilarious.
Karen, ever.
That's hilarious. Anyway,
All right, go
that's
ahead.
funny.
Go ahead.
That you have to be a certain amount of feet away from the polling place. I don't know how long to be able to set up anything and be able to, say, hey, vote Republican or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that should be for all protests.
Sure.
That you have to be a certain amount of feet away from the place you're protesting. So if it's 75 feet, then if those people want to sit 75 feet away from an abortion clinic and pray or sing hymns,
sure,
more power to you.
Yep.
But as far as I know from that one, they were sitting by the doors, if I'm not mistaken. Like they were right at the front of the clinic. I don't know.
We don't know enough about it to get into it. So let's say that. Let's research it and have this conversation because it's a really good one to have. Here's my thoughts. If anybody goes on private property and they're told to leave and they don't, it's trespassing, period, plain and simple. And they need to be escorted.
No matter what they're protesting, no matter what they're there for, it is private property. You do not have a right to be there.
I don't want to be solicited. Thomas says, no, don't scream at them. Offer compassion and alternatives. You have no right to give them that. It's the same video that I made that I'm going to show here shortly. Is you have no right to change people's minds. And they are not contracted to have that conversation with you. And they don't want to have that conversation with you. Now, could you set up a building next to a Planned Parenthood clinic, which is called, the Path of Christ, or alternatives to abortion or something? Sure. Can you put out numbers on benches and talk at schools about? Yes, of course. Yes, that's because then you're soliciting people to come to you. That's fine. But if some girl is walking in, she's about making one of the most difficult decisions of her life. Let's assume that with positive intent that her parents and that child have been given all of the options possible through their conversations with their pastor, with their peers, with their own parents, with their friends, with maybe a spouse, or maybe a person who was a boyfriend, because us assuming that they haven't been through those trials and tribulations is judgmental. That's my point.
Here's one more thought. This happened not to me personally, but to a friend of mine. She had a miscarriage. And how far along she was, it wasn't 100% miscarriage. So basically, she had to go to a clinic and get the rest of the baby out.
Was it an ectopic pregnancy or
no,
was it failed?
It was a failed pregnancy.
Failed miscarriage.
Yeah, it was a miscarriage.
Well, then that's not an abortion.
It isn't, but she had to go to a clinic.
Right.
And I went with her, and you got super mad at me, but she had to go to a clinic.
Wait a second. I didn't get super mad at it. What the hell are you talking
No,
about?
I went with her, and you got upset that I went with her.
No, I didn't. I never. Please don't misrepresent me on this show. I never got mad at you for anything like this. What are you talking about?
It was a long time ago.
No, it wasn't, because I will remember. What are you talking about?
It was back in Colorado.
How did I get mad? Be specific.
Oh, you got mad at me. You got mad at me because they called me and I went to their apartment. It was in a bad part of town. I just jumped out of the car to go help her.
Yeah.
That's what you got mad
Isn't
at me
that
for.
funny?
Yes.
Isn't that funny?
I had to think about that one for a minute.
Maybe you should think about it before you speak.
Yeah.
Because
anyway.
you just... No, we're not done. No, we're going to do this live. Please don't misrepresent me and say things that aren't true. Because I would never, ever get mad at you for supporting somebody in any way, shape, or form. I got mad at you because you were irresponsible and made a really bad decision that put yourself in jeopardy, and I didn't like it. 5 points is not the place to go. And that's where you went. And the fact that you weren't raped and killed and we were raped and then had to get you an abortion because of the rape is shocking. I love you, but
I apologize.
No, don't apologize.
Same thing, different time. Same story. And
anyway. Trying to reach over there and
built on something.
Anyway, she had to go to a clinic. This is a horrible time in her life because she wanted to have that baby.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know what they're going through.
No, you don't.
And so, no, I don't think people should be there outside the clinics, no matter what you think.
I remember this.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this clearly.
Yeah.
And my positions on abortion at that time weren't where they are now. They aren't. But no way, shape, or form would I, yeah. I think it was that, and there was another situation, but we're just not going to talk about the other things because we're just going to leave that in the ether. But that's different, right? But you make a great point because she's just going there, and now she has to carry what she's already. Listen,
she's already lost the baby, which she wanted to have.
We don't know what people are going through, and there's something that we do on this show, and I've tried to do it since I started this thing, is I always try to leave people better than I found them, and it's not always possible. There's people who I've tried to reach out to and tried to be a friend to, who we've not been in a good spot. But even if it's a troll, I always try to leave people better than I found them. And we don't know what people are going through. We just don't. And I just don't think it's a good time to go and picket, if you're Christian Science, a leukemia center. I just don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea to go picket an abortion clinic, but I think you should make yourself readily available to influence people who are looking for guidance. And that's what we should do. I don't like solicitors. I don't like people, Latter-day Saints. I don't like people knocking on my door. And it says it best on my door. It says, what does it say? It says, we know who we're voting for. We've already found Jesus. We already gave it the office, so to speak. And unless you're selling Thin Mints, go away. It's basically what it says on our door. We feel the same way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
All right. Olivia, I don't understand this. Most doctors, OBGYN, will do a D&C if a woman miscarries. I know because I had 2 and they were done by the doctor. No way I would set foot in an abortion clinic. Dawn, the difference is that you got to remember that this was 25 years ago. And privacy and parents not so understanding. And this also, a lot of people her age don't have insurance. And Planned Parenthood was able to do it for no charge. So once again, we're young, made decisions that we probably reflect upon and go, I don't know if I would do that now today, but it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But back then, Planned Parenthood helped Olivia unbelievably because we didn't have insurance and they took care of her. So yes, doctors will do certain things, but if you don't have insurance back then, really the only choice people had was to go to a clinic.
Yeah. And I mean, I didn't know their situation or insurance situation. I was just a family friend. So she just needed somebody.
Yeah.
And I was a friend of hers and she asked me, and they trusted me.
It was 25 years ago. I mean, it was very, very different back then. Anyway, great comment. I didn't get mad at anybody. I just don't listen. I have no problem being held accountable for what I did do, but I will not take any flack for things I didn't do.
I mixed up the 2 things. So I apologize.
Yeah. Brian Stelter meltdown. Here it is. 3, 2, 1. Oh, can you believe CNN hired him back? How desperate can they be?
Against reporting in America. And I would also put it in the framework of protest. You know, this is part of an ongoing pressure campaign against protests, especially the kind of provocative anti-Trump protest action that we have seen makes the administration so uncomfortable and frankly makes some voters very uncomfortable. This is an action, this arrest of Don Lemon, this arrest of this independent journalist who is live streaming and reporting in Minnesota. This is something that some MAGA loyalists have been demanding. They've been wanting to see it happen. When Trump promised retribution, this is the kind of retribution that some of his voters, not all, but some of his voters wanted to see. And I think that is, for better or for worse, some of the context for what we're seeing this morning. In this, the First Amendment is meant to protect both a reporter's right to report, but also a congregation's right to worship. So legal experts might say this is somewhat complicated, although Lemon said all along he was there as a reporter, not as an activist. And he did a really important job showing people, all of us now who can watch the video, what happened inside that church. I want to back up to that Sunday morning. That intrusion into City's church was sincerely shocking.
What's a whiny little baby? Listen, this is not an attack on journalism. I did a video today. You all should have seen it. It was very, very clear. I explained why he was in trouble for what he did. It was pretty clear. If you didn't see it, I apologize. I thought I preloaded it on, so I'll just play it real quick.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's a very quick video, but it explains all of this. Here it is, real fast, and then Olivia can use the bathroom because she's going to need to here any second. Here it is.
Let me show you, but
You want to harass people, huh?
No.
How does it feel to be fucking harassed?
No.
So he did not deny he does work for.
I know.
Yeah, Don Lemon, he was arrested. Freedom of speech is dead in America. Journalism is dead in America. What are we going to do? It's a constitutional crisis. It's over. Trump's a fascist. Journalism was dead. Hey, Matt, Don Lemon, he was arrested.
Oh, it's the 11-second.
Hey, Matt, Don Lemon, he was arrested. Freedom of speech is dead in America. Journalism is dead in America. What are we going to do? It's a constitutional crisis. It's over. Trump's a fascist. Journalism was dead in America a long time ago, and it started after the Kennedy assassination when we saw Walter Cronkite break on air, but somehow hold it together. It's never been the same since then, and journalism today is really a mockery of its former self. See, the difference is that when you look at the First Amendment, you look at freedom of speech, you look at the right to assemble, the right to protest, freedom of the press, religion. The question is can the government impose a religion on the people? No. And does it just stop there? Well, no, it doesn't. You have the right to express your beliefs. You have the right to go ahead and worship any God that you want. Whether you're a theologian or you're spiritually divine or you just say that nothing exists, you have the right to believe what you want in the United States. But that doesn't mean you have the right to go ahead and change people's minds or have the right to force them to believe whatever you want. And this is where Don Lemon crosses the line. Individual rights, the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are guaranteed to every man, not just Americans, but anyone. These are natural and God-given rights. And as much as Don Lemon loves to hide behind journalism and CNN and say things and lie on the stage and the pulpit and get fired from jobs and be abandoned by Elon Musk because he realizes he's the wacko, Don Lemon has decided to try to stay relevant by hounding people, lying about people, insulting people, and putting his fingers in his ears and saying, nana nana boo boo, stick your head in doo doo. Unfortunately, it's caught up to him. The moment that he went into a church and used his rights to usurp others' rights is where he messed up. Individual rights is paramount in a republic, and what the Founding Fathers believed is that if we recognize every single person's individual rights, well, the collective rights would be recognized. Liberals think something different. They believe collectivism. The rights of the masses, the majority, are the only thing that's important, and anyone who doesn't agree with them will be castigated out. This is where Don Lemon screwed up. Am I happy that he's arrested? Yes. Do I think he should spend some time in jail? Yes. And honestly, he'll probably enjoy it based upon his sexual preferences. Everyone have a good day. Don Lemon, you deserved it.
That was good.
Right.
I hadn't seen that one yet.
What's that?
I hadn't seen it yet. So
So it works. Trump says it's coming. Well, let's do nurse update real quick. We got a fire, folks. We are $40 away. We got to get going. We're in overtime already. Actually, we're in overtime. So we're gonna try to finish up. We have more to give you. We had a lot of conversations, phone calls, things like that set us behind. So we're going to keep going, and if you could help us out, we'd appreciate it. By the way, if you haven't got some coffee, some shirts, some hats, whatever, now is the time. It's winter, and it's cold, and it's going to be cold for a while. Go get a hoodie over at the Donut and Friendly Show or a Sherpa blanket. We've got them over there. Trump says it's coming, but first we got the nurse update. Here it is.
Melinda Rose Cook, the other nurse that was telling people to fill syringes with a paralytic and take to protest against ICE agents. Remember her? Well, she was fired from her job. Her license is being investigated, and she's also being investigated by the FBI. Never guess what she's doing now. She's posted on her TikTok that she is the victim. Shocker. And you'll never guess what else she's done. A GoFundMe. This is her GoFundMe. You can pause to read. I don't know if you've ever been on GoFundMe before, but they have this area where you can report things. Feel free. There's a part of me that feels bad for this girl because she's learned nothing from this. She's still blaming other people for her actions. The reason that you're in this position, Melinda, is because of what you did it's on you. You might want to pause and reevaluate and try to take some accountability in your life, because you are about to go down a very bumpy road. You have freedom of speech, but you are not free from the consequences of that speech from your employer or from the state licensing board. Both of those places have morality clauses, and you're a nurse. You're supposed to care for people. You took an oath. You took an oath. Do better.
I like her. That's the second video we've had of her.
Yeah,
I
she's
like her.
very, very good. James says the microphone in your hat makes your voice more pronounced. No, it's not that. It's the morning. So my voice is Mike Rowe in the morning. It's really good. Like, I wish I could capture my voice in the morning and do it all the time, but it's really bassy and really deep and really gruff, and it's got the Mike Rowe feel. I can't replicate that at night. So, unfortunately, but Olivia will tell you, some of the best recordings I've done are right in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same voice, but that's the way it is. Okay, so this is interesting. Donald Trump says it's coming. Folks, we're $40 away. Here we go. Oh, we got a caller. It looks
Pretty
like
much. We're getting very close to.
I think I know who it is. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Is this Susie, my Time Life operator?
Hey, Matt, Don Lemon, he was arrested. Freedom of speech.
Is this Susie, my Time Life operator? Who is this?
It's Susie, your Time Life operator.
What do you want?
Hey, Matt, it's Frank.
I know it is. What do you want to talk about, buddy?
Dude, do you notice a trend going on here?
Depends.
What's the trend?
Yeah, what's the trend? Enlighten us.
Stupid people.
Oh
yeah.
Doing stupid things.
Yeah, there's quite a few of those.
What the fuck?
Well, I
excuse my language.
I think stupid people have always been here. It's just a matter that they're exposed more because we have
Internet.
We have video studios in our pocket now and recording devices. But I think there were some people pretty stupid at Berkeley. I think there were some pretty stupid people in the 1920s, and I think there were stupid people in the Wild West, and who decided to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and try to shoot Wild Bill Hickok, and I'm going to see how that works out. And people would challenge gunslingers who were just out of high pants. You know what I mean? So there's always been stupid people. It's just now we get to see them in all their glory, and we get to share it. But I want you to think about that. Like, can you think of interactions where people have utterly embarrassed themselves? Probably only make one or two or maybe three in your entire life. But now you can record one of those interactions, something that will probably never happen to you again, and you can show millions upon millions of people it, and everybody has access to do that. So it looks like there's more stupid people than there usually is. No, same amount of stupid people. We're just able to document it now.
I agree. I think you're absolutely correct. And if it wasn't for the internet, would we be seeing all this stupidity?
No.
Well, no, but yes, we would have to watch America's Funniest Home Videos. That's why that went off the air.
Or the news.
Because America's Funniest Home Videos essentially is YouTube. Like, that's why America's Funniest Home Videos went by the way of the dodo.
Yeah.
And just like DVD is why Blockbuster and Netflix took over. But we used to get it from America's Funniest Home Videos, and then we would get it from Silver Reels. You remember this? I wasn't alive, but you can go back. Frank, you were. You can go back to World War II. and
nice.
But you can,
horrible.
they would show it on the Silver Cinema Reels, and they would get these, these funny and comedic relief from the USO, whatever. So there's always been documentation. It's just now it's on a massive scale because everybody has a movie studio in their pocket.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, before I forget, Olivia, did you get the oh, for Christ's sake.
Get the high
You
hardware?
texted.
Not yet. That's
No, you sent me an email about
Oh,
the
yes.
jacket.
I was going to send you an email back, and they actually do have the medium and gray. So I apologize.
You gonna blame me again?
No, it was my fault. So you're
hold
still.
on. Heart attack. Hold on. Fuck. What did you just say? Say it again. Shh. Say it again.
No, you only get to hear it once.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
It's recorded. You can go back and watch the video.
I am going to put it on my ringer.
Yep.
I was wrong.
So you're still getting
wrong.
the gray one.
I was wrong. You're getting the gray one.
I am?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are. We yes, it's a whole nother story. Your size was not out of stock. Jeff Oliphant's was out of stock. So we got Jeff swapped over. He's fine. Yours is coming. It's good. It's been made. Got it?
Oh, man. You know, I got all psyched up for the black one.
Listen, I'll give you a black one. Frank.
What the hell?
You won't like me when I'm angry, Frank. Honestly, the light gray one's going to be the best. That one looks amazing. Just trust me. Trust me. Okay.
Okay. So we're in for light gray. Am I correct in assuming that?
Yes, we are. Light gray jackets coming your way. Now,
man.
Get off the damn phone.
You guys always got to screw with my head.
I got a job to do. Get out of here. I got to go. Love you.
Later.
See you, buddy. Bye.
Love you.
Frank, buddy, love him. What is this live about? Oh, dude, what is it not about? It's a night. Suicide.
About everything.
I have to show you this because it's so important. There's so many things I wanted to show you tonight. I have a ton of videos. This one is so important. It's called suicidal empathy. The idioms are crazy tonight. Moral fagging and now suicidal empathy. I have tried to explain this on this show. I really have. This is so good. It's by Gad Saad. And the way he puts this, I want you to listen to it and try to understand what he's saying. So all I can tell you is this, is there's a point where empathy is very similar to ritualistic suicide. It's an entire civilization cutting its own throat. The best way I can describe this is Europe. Their empathy for Muslims coming into the countries and having unfettered access to immigration is literally destroying their country. It's suicidal empathy. They committed suicide because they were not compassionate, but they were empathetic. And essentially, compassion and sympathy are very similar. Empathy, in my opinion, is essentially hollowed sympathy. I don't think you should be empathetic to anyone. I think you can be sympathetic to people's situations with correlation. But if you don't know what it's like and you haven't been there and you haven't done that, I think empathy is placating people. And I think it's very dangerous. And he explains this so well. And this one's a little high for 9 or 22 at night, but you need to watch this. And if I get nothing else on the show tonight, this is the one you need to see. Listen to this. This is really good.
This mass immigration?
So that's a great question. So it's covered partly in Parasitic Mind, my earlier book, and in my next book, which I call Suicidal Empathy, right? So empathy is a emotion that has evolved for very clear evolutionary reasons. So just like any of our other emotions, for example, envy, there are evolution.
Enough Jesus says Antifa, World War II, buried at Arlington National Cemetery. Are they empathetic suicide? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that has to do with anything I just said.
Evolutionary reasons why we've evolved the emotion of envy.
I could explain it again, but be a little more detailed in your question. Just be a little more direct.
Right? It can compel us forward. I see that Joe's doing well, keeping up with the Joneses. Maybe it'll get me off my fat ass so I can work harder. So there are very clear evolutionary reasons why empathy exists. But the problem is when empathy misfires, it either becomes hyperactive or it misfires in directing the empathy to the wrong person. So, for example, illegal immigrants more important than American vets, right? And I can show you many public policies where you have these insane policies, all of which are due to suicidal empathy. So to answer your question, I think that the Western mind is we are kind, tolerant, compassionate, empathetic people. There are people out there, they're Guatemalan, they're Honduran, they're Yemeni, who don't have it as well as we do. wouldn't it be nice if we open up our doors? So the reflex is a noble one. It's a nice one, but it exists in unicornia. The real world doesn't operate that way. If you let in people...
It's my second favorite thing, unicornia.
I like that.
It's so good.
Exists in unicornia.
It's
I like
so good.
That have a huge hatred of homosexuality. Are you going to have an increase in homophobia in your country or a decrease, right? So I think that's the answer. The answer is misdirected empathy across the West.
Is it really that simple? Because it seems like it's happened so rapidly that it seems like a plan to create more chaos. Because it's happened. The border policy in America is puzzling. It's baffling because it seems like there's a plan to flood the country.
So it's a sort of a conspiratorial kind of cabal.
This seems like there's something going on that's allowing it to happen, even though everyone recognizes it's a problem and it's solvable, but they don't solve it. In fact, the United States government has actively tried to stop Texas from enforcing their border.
So, but I think that's just, so I've often tweeted that the most dangerous weapon in human context is a parasitized mind, right? I mean, a bomb is dangerous, but it is the human mind that activates that bomb, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a guy with a little mustache that said that Jews are the real problem in the world, and I need to get rid of the world of that parasite, right? So parasitic thinking, I mean, one of the reasons I think that book did so well is because it really explained how all of these parasitic ideas came to a head together. And they were all spawned on university campuses over the past 40 to 80 years. So one hypothesis is what you said, which is there is kind of a grand scheme that's willfully doing this. Another one is that all of the Western leaders of roughly the same age, I mean, within 20 years of each other, are all a product of a Western education, university education, that was completely infected with these dreadful parasitic ideas, so that when these leaders go out there and have the power to enact policies, they enact these policies. So my view is slightly different from yours in that I don't think that there is a supra-mega, willful plan. It's just that all of those Western leaders are the product of a really shitty university system.
That was very well said.
It's an amazing analysis of mislabeling discontent. So with empathy, you'll hear this all the time. Sympathy. I don't have sympathy for your situation, but I'm empathetic, which means I understand it, but I don't necessarily can demonstrate that I've been in the same situation, so I'm going to placate you by not getting emotionally attached to the problem and dilemma that you're in, which means that I can't really offer any value or any help. But I understand why you're here. Sympathy is relating to someone because you have been in a similar situation and your emotions and feelings can align. Best example I have is when it comes to PTSD and 22 a day. We'll start with what Anthony said, is that a person who has struggled with PTS can go ahead and help another person kind of find their way out and be sympathetic to their plight. But if I'm empathetic, I don't really address the problem. And I'm not necessarily going to get deep enough to help with the problem. And then you have people who have never, ever, ever experienced PTS in their life who want to demonstrate empathy to a person or be sympathetic to a person who have no idea how to help them. And it can be damaging. Very, very damaging. There are people who want to give more narcotics or give more psychotropic drugs to people with PTS, when honestly we found out that that is the worst possible thing you can do. They're trying to align with their own personal situation or their own personal solution without truly investing in what the problem is. That's empathy. And ultimately, it can create more of a problem and can have cataclysmic effects. Let's look at population. For instance, the Native Americans. Native Americans, in their instinct, was to slaughter any type of foreign influence. But when Native Americans, which were way before, when we're talking about Columbus and way after Mayflower, demonstrated empathy and acceptance to a foreigner on their soil. Well, what happened afterwards? Would it have been better if they would have killed them and sunk their ship, as some tribes did in the Philippine Isles, that some did in Sri Lanka and Indonesia with foreigners, to keep their sovereignty and sanctity intact? What happened after their empathy of accepting these people in? Well, it annihilated 92% of their population, because European diseases that they were inoculated to were still carriers, and it wiped out an entire Native American population. The cataclysmic decision of empathy got them killed. And then, yes, the remaining 8 or 9% were conquered. But for people to think that it was just a bunch of Europeans coming over and just murdering Native Americans, that's not what happened. Even though they did bring over disease blankets and other things and tried to speed the process up of annihilating Native Americans, knowing full well what took place, and tried to finish off the rest of them, that's not really the point. The point is that it was a horrible decision for the natives to do so. Certain tribes in Alaska, the Inuits, would come down from Alaska and matriculated into the Californians and the Washingtons and the Oregon areas, which were not those at the time, and migrated, and other tribes fell prey and fell privy to that because they did not have the food and the sustenance and could not survive really, really harsh winters, when other tribes recognized this and migrated out of those winters for a safer life. But the only problem with that is, by them leaving those situations, those other tribes faltered, and they lost a lot of their history and their culture. Empathetic to the older people who ultimately could not survive the winters, those moves were made to save them, but in the end, it wasn't really good for the overall tribe. It wasn't good for the population. And by being empathetic to the elderly, who ultimately were going to die soon anyway, curtailing their entire culture to them was not the best idea, even though that's culture still there today, where the elderly are idolized and loved in the Inuit people. It wasn't the best thing for their culture. That empathetic decision wound up costing them. So the point is like, there's a lot of things throughout history that you can look at and say, okay, well, why did civilizations disappear? Or why are cultures erased? And some of it has to do with empathy, misplaced empathy. And I was just amazed by this conversation, because it's a different way of looking at it, that civilizations and cultures have made the wrong decisions for their people. And here's one more example. COVID at the border. Is that we allowed unfettered access to illegals, to be empathetic, to bring us your huddled masses. But those people were not treated the way we were treating other people, with inoculation and vaccines and masks and everything else. And we were allowing unfettered access for different types of diseases to come into our country that had altered and changed and evolved from the original COVID strain, that we started seeing other strains that were more resistant or had evolved that we were normally not exposed to, because we were allowing people into this country we shouldn't have. That's an empathetic decision that could have had cataclysmic results. What if there was a strain that came in that was no longer airborne, a pathogen that our bodies were unable to process, a virus that did not metastasize into something else that was benign or kill itself because of its reproduction value, but was able to have a sustaining longer life that would cause devastating damage? Something like Ebola, something that evolved into something worse. And we are allowing people in with this unfettered access, and that decision ultimately led to a bubonic plague type style of situation. So it's something to think about, and it's a very interesting concept, and it got me really excited about it, because I never thought of it that way, that being empathetic can ultimately lead to a suicidal style disposition and a cataclysmic event that has ancillary negative effects. It's interesting.
Yes, very.
I'm sorry, I went long.
That's okay. It was great and well said.
Mark says, and the reservations that were like concentration camps. Well,
thank you, Miss Bellatrix Lestrange. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Bellatrix. Mark, I feel some resistance. Yes, that's absolutely correct. there's no doubt that the United States it shouldn't bask in its history. The person who writes the history usually is labeled as the hero. There's a lot of things that the United States has done that it should be ashamed of. There's no doubt. I'm not going to defend that. I'm not going to defend the way we treated the Native Americans. But I will tell you that the way we treated the Native Americans were more civil than any other conquered people on the planet. You can't name one. The fact that the United States allowed the Native Americans to live at all is an incredible piece of history that hasn't been replicated. Usually when a country conquers another, they murder or enslave all the people. The fact that the United States, even as horrible as what happened, now the 92% that were killed by disease, you still had a lot of what was remaining were the non-fighting abled younger youth and elderly that remained. And a lot of young fighting men still remained, but only about 8% of the population remained. And you're absolutely right. What we did to those people was incredibly horrible. But the fact that there's any Native Americans left in the United States is a pretty incredible thing. And a thriving population. Maybe not thriving from an infrastructure standpoint or from an agriculture standpoint or from a creation standpoint or, innovation, because we've really hamstrung these people. And I've tried to say this is that, when you create gambling and addiction and alcohol and you put it on these reservations, it makes it difficult. Now, I've had many arguments with people who are very upset with me on this show who say, oh, well, you're misrepresenting what these reservations are like. I know I'm not, but that's okay. I think it's an interesting conversation to say that, yes, the Native Americans is a really good analogy of empathetic suicide, but I can also tell you now that the decisions of the Native Americans is also a decision of empathetic suicide, which is holding on to a culture and holding on to a piece of land, which is holding them back, and ultimately which will be their demise. Their loyalty to the culture and to the empathy that they're displaying to their heritage ultimately will keep them and hold them back. And that's another conversation in its entirety. It's amazing when you actually start applying it to multiple things. You can tie it to the Bolshevik Revolution. You can talk about the Hung Dynasty. I mean, there's plenty of examples in history where you can apply entire civilizations making horrible decisions on the basis of empathy that have essentially made themselves irrelevant or extinct. It's really cool. This is a good live. This man actually interacts with his viewers. I try to, Mark. We both do. Sometimes we over-interact, where Olivia is telling me, I want to get off the damn thing.
Well, I was going to say that's a really good video to end on because it is almost 10 o'clock. Even though we already we have more, we can put them on Monday because
I have to play one.
Okay. Because I'm looking at the videos and I'm going.
Okay, Liv. Okay.
Yeah.
You just want to have Nookie.
No, it's almost 10 o'clock Friday. And I love everyone, but...
You don't have Nookie?
No, not really.
Oh, please. Please. Everyone knows. Can you believe how beautiful? I get to go to bed with this every single night. And, of course, she gets to go to bed with me, which... It's my empathetic suicide.
Dick.
Here is the last video of tonight. We've got some things that we'll show you on Monday, some good stuff. We really appreciate you guys for watching, and we thank you guys so much. Really good audience tonight. A lot of fun, a lot of interaction. It was fun.
Thanks for helping us hit goal. We appreciate it.
Yes, we really do. And we still want someone to go buy something in the store, though, because I really wanted to sell some. We got to keep the coffee going, folks. The coffee is good stuff. You got to go try it. This is Candace. I haven't put Candace on in a while, and this is hilarious. This guy does great cuts. He does great videos. It's really, really good. Mel, do you know we have 5-pound coffee available? We even ship to Canada. So 5 pound, you'd only have to reload every couple months.
Thanks,
JD
JD.
Have a great night to all the dummies 2081. Don't leave. This is really funny. You guys are going to laugh. This is a great way to end tonight. Here it is.
Okay, Candace, let's do a take and just be mindful of the pronunciations. Let's not do anything weird.
I have so many explosive revelations to share with you.
Oh, wait. No, it's revelations. You know what? We can We can move on.
If you can't compartmentalize.
No, sweetheart, it's compartmentalized. Just take that one more time.
You have to be able to compartmentalize that.
Compartmentalize.
And we have to compartmentalize. Compartmentalize how you feel about somebody personally.
Are you doing this on purpose? Is this a bit? Are you trying to get clicks or something?
Can't compartmentalize. But really, it was about the architecture.
Ooh, this is the big one. It's architecture.
He just liked the architecture.
Architecture, not architecture.
Loved the architecture.
Architecture.
Yeah, no, like he loved the architecture of things.
You really don't know how these words are pronounced? You speak for a living.
Prince Harry abdicates England, causes this whole race kerfluffle.
Oh, no, it's kerfuffle.
We knew a kerfluffle happened.
Kerfuffle.
Because
I say kerfuckle, and people always try. I'm like, no, it's kerfuckle. I understand the proper pronunciation, but I do it on purpose.
This dress kerfluffle.
Pronounce kerfuffle. Kerfuffle.
Designed quite literally with the intention
so
to
stupid.
mock me and Tucker Carlson. It's always got to be Tucker Carlson, Cameron Owens.
It's Candace Owens. It's Candace. Let's cut here. I'm gonna go take my life. Okay, Candace, let's do it.
That was funny.
It is funny. Listen, conversation we've had before. We've had plenty of conversations about Native Americans. I don't want to have it again. People get upset at my takes. I blame the U.S. government, and I blame the Indian nation as much. They both need to take accountability. Which is the close to Moab? We have Moab again. Mel, I forgot you went on a sabbatical. Mel, our coffee guy is back. Matt sold it to his best friend, who's also military, but he also owns a artesian pizza
and winery.
Makes his own wine, and he's now roasting coffee. So this guy knows his shit. We've already been shipping out bags. We've sold a shit ton, and he sells 2-pound and 5-pound bags too. And also it's on Reload and Save 10% off. So I know the shipping's a little bit more expensive to Canada. Let me know if there's any problem with the shipping. We should be okay. But either way, kid, we've got it there for you. Listen, I want to say thank you. Olivia works her butt off all day and then comes home and does this show. So let's all give her a round of applause. And
thanks.
And Liv, do you have anything else?
Oh, but it was a good week. Thanks for joining us. It was a really good show. Anthony emailed us.
He did.
Yes, he did. So
he did. He said, I have not called in before. I believe him. He says that. I think it doesn't matter. So he seems like a good dude.
Sometimes I like the unplanned, let's just have people call in nights. Those are awesome sometimes, where it's just, and it was fun to have phone calls. It's good. I like it.
Awesome. Folks, we love you. We appreciate you. Have a good weekend. We're going to see you on Monday. Take care of each other. We'll see you then. Oh, sorry.
Happy last day of January that we will be on the air. I can't believe January's
over. Oh my God,
it
is. It's February. Oh, but it's 11 months to Christmas.
Don't know.
Can't believe it.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
No.
All right. Mark, welcome. Good to have you guys here. Please bookmark us, like us. Can I say something? What's really cool is that we had more likes than we had eclipsed people on.
Ooh,
that's
cool.
We had 163 likes, and we're pushing 90 to 100 on Facebook. So we're starting to break through the Facebook throttling a little bit. So let's keep doing it, folks. Go get something from the store. We'll talk to you guys soon. God bless. See ya. Bye.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.